practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing.
Me?
We want you to smoke the natural herb.
Sweet.
Some call it marijuana.
Sweet.
Some call it sensimilla.
Sweet.
Some call it hand spread.
The tea.
And some people call it...
You gotta unmute it. There we go.
He'll figure it out.
It's Show. I am your host, Adam Dunn.
I'm Dave Charney.
Live out here in Rhode Island. Freaking Rhode Island.
Does it mean
Where
you
are
get
you at?
stupider? You get stupider as you go east, and we couldn't, and it gets more hodgepodgey, and holy moly, whenever you're ready. And that's Dr. Mark.
Are you
right
insulting every single person? There's 150 people in this room. Are you insulting every one of them? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, just you.
Gate?
Just you.
It's out of the gate. If you were nice, they'd all give you $2 and you'd be a happy guy. That'd be 150 times 2.
I need $343.08.
You want me to, if you can, Uncut Bush, help us out.
Yeah.
Pay his phone bill now. He needs his phone bill paid.
I have 6 hours left.
We are all over the place. We're in, I think we're in New York. Are we in New York? We're in New York, I believe. Or we're in Rhode Island. We're in Colorado. And nobody's in the studio live except for good old MTI and Vinnie, right, guys?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
I'm in Boulder.
What is that, frozen? Am I
In the
frozen?
studio, yeah. We're holding it down here. We got customers this week. That's nice.
No shit.
Customers.
I crushed it already.
Yeah, he crushed it.
It's my birthday crew.
Yeah, dude.
Nice. And so we are on a Friday night here at the Tetrahydra Club, which is their weekly Friday. So the good part is that nobody even knew we were going to be here. So we're just sort of in the corner having every technological breakdown you could possibly have, which is totally Adam Dunn Show style. So this is like, dude, I'm feeling in my oats. I wish I was a little higher though, so I could really like be super confused by wires. When I get to the point where I like look at wires and I don't even know what they mean anymore, then it's like, oh fuck, I think we're not going to make it through this one. But
You didn't bring any weed to Rhode Island?
fuck yeah, I brought weed to Rhode Island. What are you talking about? No, I'm just saying I'm not high enough because I was busy trying to figure this whole thing out. I didn't get a chance to partake as much. But as
you know what you're
around,
realizing?
you can see, I'll give you the shot. Look
wow.
at that. Oh, look at that.
You're
The
supposed to
whole
say, and they're
event
all there
going
for you.
No, none of them know we're here. That's the best part. That's what I'm telling you. They will be here for me next time when I come all professional and we have the whole team and we're like, yeah, this is Dave. Is that Dave in the wild? They're all asking about you. You know
They'll
that.
take
They're like,
pictures.
that guy. They say that guy that's with you all the time. I'm like, which guy? The old guy? They're like, yeah, that guy who looks a lot older than you. And I'm like, oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's definitely older.
So are
So
you trying to say that you really appreciate the work that Mark does, considering you had to do his job when you were there, and you're realizing how fucking difficult it is? And we pay him in
I always know.
rosin.
It never works.
Okay, we pay him in rosin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I'm sorry, Mark.
Yeah, no, that's a great deal. Good deal. Mark's like our bargain. He's like our bargain basement Mexican guy that we got.
That's right.
Just for rosin. He works for rosin mine. I work for rosin mine. Yeah, that's our guy. Anyway,
I'm looking for free the past 3 weeks.
speaking of which, before we jump into Mark Scialdone and get to the bottom of all the nasty shit that people are trying to pass off as whatever and or fire that they're pretending is crap or whatever the fuck's going on in this industry, I do want to touch on a few little funny anecdotes. One being, I got to see a friend I hadn't seen in 37 years today. That was pretty epic. It was like, oh, when was the last time we saw each other? It was like 37 years ago. And quite literally, after about an hour, we were literally like, wow, time has not changed at all. We're pretty much the same dudes. But yeah, pretty awesome. Went out to some local spots here in town. Checked out, I pretty much cruised by every single old house that I ever lived in and took photos of them. And it felt like a real creep. Like I said, I was a creepy guy outside taking photos of people's houses. It was pretty funny.
Hello?
Uh-oh. What happened?
Hearing anybody?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Hear you?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, you're
You
good.
talk. I don't hear anything. Okay, I don't hear nobody.
Well, we hear you.
Silence.
We hear you.
Oh, thanks. Oh, all right. Anyway, and my uncle's coming by here, and my first girlfriend's coming by here, and all. It's like, oh my God, I'm going into the Adam Dunn vaults of everybody. It's like, everybody's like, you're here? We're coming. So,
Wait, first girlfriend from when?
From when I was 16 years old.
So when she walks in with a 39-year-old kid who looks a little bit like you.
No, I've already. I don't think so. No, we have actually seen each other before. She would have mentioned it along the way. Like, oh, by the way.
Are you sure? She was waiting for this moment. She was waiting for this moment on the show.
Now she knows that I'm rich and famous. So it's, she can see by the technological
you get all the baseball money?
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's the sad part is I'm on my phone right now, but right here is professional, everything we could ever want, mixing boards, equipment, everything. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And we had it working for one moment in time where it was actually sounding pretty good. So I don't know. It'll be one switch later, one dongle. We were one dongle away, guys.
One dongle away,
Once
guys.
again. A dongle away.
Hey, remember this guy? Wait,
What's
remember
that?
this guy?
Yeah.
Remember he made this and then he went all batshit on us?
Yeah.
I bumped into him at Champs.
Oh, yeah? How's he doing?
He didn't remember me at all, which was really good.
Nah.
It was
You were
great.
just like,
Only person who
later.
can remember me. So wait,
There you go.
before we get into Dr. Mark and why he's here, let's back up with how this Michigas started. So, and the rosin you mentioned earlier that went to Champs last week.
Very nice.
I have some for tonight though for you.
Oh, good.
So I'm walking around Champs, really not much because I was really at the Yo booth the whole time, but we started seeing these vendors. They call themselves THCA vendors, and they are selling straight up cannabis. And then they have their little vape cartridges with Delta 9 in it. It's straight up. It was all decent. None of it was boutique weed, but it wasn't mids. It worked. It tasted okay. It had an effect to it. And I heard one guy in a conversation say that his his THCA company, you ready? Look, Dr. Mark's got his hand on his face, did 33 million in sales last month. 33 million. And they're selling these little, like the 14er Garden Select jars, these little jars with 3.5 grams or 7 grams of weed in it. And all day long, they sell it everywhere. At gas stations, smoke shops, it doesn't matter. 33 million. So I called Dr. Mark because I wanted him to come on the show and just clear the air and educate us on THCA and Delta 9. But I want to throw this out to everyone. Is what they're doing the future? Is everyone going to jump on this farm bill? I don't know if it's a loophole. It's the law on the farm bill law to sell cannabis this way, because that's exactly what Ed Rosenthal called it, cannabis, and let their, regulated adult use licenses lapse because they're so overregulated. You can't make any money in it. It's just so restrictive. And so maybe this is the way the future of cannabis really, comes into commercial production. So I say, welcome to the show, Dr. Mark.
Thanks, Dave. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You're all good.
Yeah. So in the 2018 Farm Bill, they did, remove hemp, industrial hemp, as defined by cannabis sativa with a total concentration of Delta 9 THC of less than 0.3% from the Controlled Dangerous Substances Act. Now, the plant doesn't make THC. The plant makes THCA. And so, like, the diamonds and the shatter and the concentrates that we consume are THCA, right? Which then on heating undergoes the decarboxylation reaction to make THC. So these people who are selling THCA flower are doing so at incredible risk, because it says in the Farm Bill that you have to do testing that decarboxylates all of the THCA so you can calculate the total THC. And so the total THC is equal to the THC content times 0.877, because 87% of the THCA molecule is THC. So when you heat up THC, if you have a gram of THCA, exactly 1.00 grams, when you heat that up and it's completely decarboxylated, because when it decarboxylates, it loses a molecule of CO2, and that CO2 is roughly 12.7% of the mass, or 12.3% of the mass. So you end up, if you started out with just a gram of THCA, you'll end up with 877 milligrams of THC. So these folks who are hawking THCA don't realize, or maybe they do realize, but they're continuing to sell their material because they claim that it tests for less than 0.3% THC. But what they're sort of glossing over is the fact that THCA is 87.7% by weight THC. And the plant doesn't make THC, it makes THCA. And any THC that's in flower, you guys have seen COAs, is just from a little bit of adventitious decarboxylation that's happened on curing of the flower or drying. Typically, you'll see less than, 0.5% or maybe 1%. In properly cured material, you should retain mostly THCA. If it's undergone some sort of, if it gets heated, you can lose. So decarboxylation is a reaction that happens spontaneously at room temperature. But when you heat it up, it accelerates that. And it accelerates it in a linear fashion. So the higher you heat it, the faster it decarboxylates. So when you take cannabis and you put it into the oven, you could decarboxylate cannabis in the oven. But what you're also doing when you roast cannabis like that is you're driving off the terpenes and you're oxidizing the terpenes. So that's not very well looked at. But I'll just stop by saying that, the loophole that enables those guys to sell THCA flower is basically all bullshit, because the plant makes THCA. High THCA flowers is cannabis. And it wasn't the intent of Congress when they signed the Farm Bill into action to, account for high THCA cannabis. High THCA cannabis was not supposed to be deemed as hemp. I think those guys were snookered on oil and paper and rope, and they didn't even contemplate CBD, because CBD right now, if you try to take a CBD product to market, you're in violation of the FD&C Act, because CBD is the active ingredient of FDA-approved drugs. So you can't just put CBD into food, feed, or cosmetics without getting an exemption from the government. So that would just take one signature from the Department of Health and Human Services Secretary in the Biden administration. One signature could basically unleash the CBD industry, which is sort of nascent right now. But I think one of the things that's keeping it nascent is the fact that GW Pharmaceuticals, it has their FDA approval for Sativex, or I'm sorry, not Sativex, but Epidiolex, and they'd probably like to recoup some of that investment. From what I understand, the sales of Epidiolex about equals the overall global sales of the CBD industry, which is about $500 million. So I'm sure the folks at GW Pharma, now Jazz Pharmaceuticals, would like to see the CBD industry go away so they can reap the benefits of, dispensing CBD medically.
That's a crazy number, actually. I was surprised that I thought it was a flop, actually, the whole time. It seemed like,
Yeah, those numbers are both about $500 million, Adam. I mean, it's amazing when you think, again, that, well, we've known about the anti-epileptic activity of CBD since Meshulam did a clinical trial in Sao Paulo, Brazil in the late 70s. And so GW basically just repeated that in clinical trials and got the FDA approval. But most people that I know who use CBD to control epilepsy and like kids and whatnot, like Colton Turner and them, they all just use a CBD tincture. I don't know anybody who uses Epidiolex.
But that's exactly what I mean. It's like it's one of the, even same with the cannabis sales. Like when I hear like Michigan over $1 billion and all these sales over $1 billion, these states are just rocking out $1-2 billion in sales. You're just like, really? It feels like when I drive by any dispensary, I don't see anybody hardly there. It doesn't ever feel like the big rush. You know what I mean? I always feel like, it seems like there's really inflated numbers in my mind. I don't know.
Well, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, I mean, this is probably what I thought you guys wanted to talk about tonight, which was the sales of intoxicating cannabinoids derived from hemp is huge, Adam. That number is in close, I think, to $50 billion worldwide. And I know a guy who sat on the Colorado task force for alternative cannabinoids. And, in markets like Colorado and in California, I know there's a lawsuit. Meg Sanders is behind a lawsuit there in Massachusetts to try to keep those hemp-derived cannabinoids from out of the gas stations and convenience stores and bodegas and whatnot. And on High at 9 News today, we covered an article that was in the New York Magazine that talked about all the trap market shops in Manhattan. I don't know if you guys have been to New York lately, New York City, Manhattan, but there's like 3 or 4 weed stores on every block in Manhattan. I mean, it's amazing. What used to just be a sort of like a convenience store, like a deli, where you can get, a sandwich, but you could also get like sodas and chips and stuff like that. All those stores sell weed now. All of them.
Buy a pre-inflated balloon that's a pre-inflated balloon with a lot of dust on it is what you usually can buy there. They were like, wow, what do you got going on here? We got some balloons behind the counter and weed. That's about it. And some old cookies from
and psychedelics and some mushroom chocolates and psychedelics are big. I don't think you can see MDMA products in the counter, but if you ask and they'll go around back, they'll get some MDA for you. But yeah, I mean, like, it's interesting. So we stayed in New York City a couple months back, and I went to the local weed store that was just down on a corner. So this was in a Hudson Yard neighborhood of Manhattan. So this is like 38th Street and 10th Avenue, if you know that area, right by Hudson Yard, not too far from Madison Square Garden. So I went inside the local weed shop, and the guy was super friendly. Actually, there was a weed shop right next to a smoke shop, and the smoke shop had paraphernalia, had a lot of nicotine vape stuff and a lot of CBD stuff, but that was right next to a weed store that sold nothing but weed. And so I went into the smoke shop and I started talking to the guy behind the counter, and I saw that they had a, license from the city of New York. And, I kind of played dumb. I was like, this is really proud moment for you guys. We used to come in and buy weed on the street corner from just some Rastafarian guy. And now here it is. We're in a legitimate store licensed by the city of New York. Oh boy. From
some other random Rasta guy, from another random Rasta guy indoors.
So Adam, I start talking to the guy, and it turns out he was a Dominican guy from the Bronx, and he said this area of Manhattan by the Javits Center, so like between like 11th and 10th Avenue and like 38th and like 34th.
Pretty much where Monkey was almost, right? Kind of that zone. Like they were
Yeah.
9th and 6th. Yeah, Javits Center, a couple blocks up. That whole area.
So apparently all the convenience stores and all the restaurants, they're all Dominican there. It's like a Dominican neighborhood where it's kind of like just the Dominican by nature. This guy was from the Bronx, but he was telling me, I was like looking at the weed. He had a couple big jars of weed behind the counter. So I asked him, I said, hey, do you have a COA on that weed? And he looked at me and he said, COA, bro, is that a new cannabinoid? Like he thought it was like CBD or some new cannabinoid, COA. And I said, no, I explained to him that it stands for Certificate of Analysis. And what that means is that your weed was lab tested for potency and terpene. He's like, oh man. He's like, we don't need any of that. All our weed's from Cali, man, and it's really good. So here's a guy at a licensed shop in New York City who just admitted that all their weed comes in from California. So it's kind of like, I don't know how the regulated market in New York is ever going to put a lid on the trap market in Manhattan. Because when they'll close 3 of those stores and then they'll open 3 more up. And you know what he said, Adam, which I thought was super funny? He goes, as long as we pay the neighborhood tax. He's like, the neighborhood tax? You know what the neighborhood tax is, right? That's Don Corleone dipping his hand into the register. So as long as they pay the neighborhood tax, they won't get robbed and they won't get shut down. And as soon as they stop paying the neighborhood tax, guess what?
Yeah,
police will come and shut them down, or the neighborhood kids will come and rob them. So I don't know how in Manhattan, a lot of that stuff. Well, let's put it this way: what's happening in California and what's happening throughout the weed industry, and one of the reasons why there are lawsuits against the hemp-derived cannabinoid businesses is because those guys are sandbagging the market, right? Because you're undercutting the prices at the dispensary by charging $20 for a vape pen at a gas station, right? Without a COA, without any testing, without anything. And what I can tell you is in those hemp-derived cannabinoids, those people are fucking deep-pocketed, man, because I've seen warehouses 3 pallet racks high of finished goods. And these people are not fucking around. And so they've made more money in the alternative cannabinoid space than the entire regulated cannabis space all put together, combined. Do you hear that, what I'm saying?
Oh, hey, Mark, we're on your side. Adam and I said this out loud years ago, that if you took 100,000 acres of hemp and processed it for CBD and refined the CBD out, the byproduct of it is there's a whole fuck ton of THC left over.
Right.
And no one is destroying it. As long as they properly stored it, it's going to be just fine for years. And that's what they did. And the term we used was mining for milligrams. You just became a THC mine. And that's all it was.
So let me speak to that for a second. So that's done 2 things. Is it's cratered the price of CBD isolate, right? We remember like back in 2018, 2019, kilo of CBD was like 10 grand, 5 grand. Then it dropped down to like 2 grand. And then after the Farm Bill created this glut of CBD on the market, that shit has cratered down to below $500 a kilogram. So it is now, okay, listen to what I'm saying. This is very important. It is now cheaper to make Delta-9 THC from the chemical conversion of CBD than it is to get a cannabis license, to grow a bunch of cannabis plants, to plant the cannabis plants, to extract them, to make distillate, to turn that distillate into THC. You'll have spent 10x, an order of magnitude more making that molecule of THC than you will from the hemp guys who are making THC by the buttload from all this cheap CBD that's out there. And at first, it was all Delta 8 and it was these god awful mixtures, but the chemists have gotten more sophisticated with time and they're able to make what's called, and you guys have seen this, hemp-derived D9. So hemp-derived D9 is chemically converted from CBD, and some of the producers have gotten good enough at it that you can't tell the difference whether that THC came from cannabis and extracted and refined and distilled and purified, or whether it came from the chemical conversion of CBD. And let's face it, folks, we're in a commodity market where the cheapest is going to win. So basically those. And
when you say you can't tell the difference, does it mean you can't tell the difference by just by looking at it or whatever? But is it still the same quality, or is it just like gummy? I mean, I wonder if it's like oil's oil.
But by the time it's in a gummy and it's diluted, it's very difficult, because if you have 5 milligrams of THC from cannabis versus 5 milligrams of converted, actually the converted stuff tastes a whole lot cleaner because you don't have all the extractables from cannabis that you're trying to purify the THC from. So actually converted THC has little to no taste profile, which is great for things like gummies and beverages. But like these beverage, I don't know if you guys have covered this, but like what's going on up in Minnesota, where they've basically just legalized THC containing beverages, and they're being sold.
What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, it's crazy because
novelty, or does it affect them? Does it even work? That's what I wonder. I don't see it really doing it.
So first of all, a couple of things, Adam. So we know that cannabinoids aren't soluble in water-based drinks. You ever try cleaning your bong out with water, right? Doesn't work too well, right? So cannabinoids have to be emulsified if they're going to be in water-based drinks like juices and sodas and seltzers and things like that. So there's been a couple producers that have figured this out, because people knew how to make cannabis and cannabinoid-based emulsions, but making a cannabinoid-based emulsion and making one that tastes good is a completely different set of things. So not all of them taste good. A lot of them taste like hell. And a lot of cannabinoid emulsions are losing potency inside the can to the side of the cans. But the ones that are out right now have seemed to figure that out. And if you look, there's been a huge explosion of beverages across that market. And big players that are associated with brands like Anheuser-Busch and all the big, soda companies and beverage companies are all getting in.
Remember when Eddie gave us those, his Stardust?
Yeah, I do. I still have them floating around somewhere. I keep hearing. Remember? Where is it? What are you doing?
This is what it looks like. Let's see. Where's my camera? This is cannabinoid nano emulsion. So this is the active ingredient that goes into cannabis-based beverages, and it's fast acting.
It's not the only one. It's not the only one, and actually, more and more beverages are using a THC connected to a sugar, a maltose dextrose. And
that's you're chemically modifying the active ingredient. I'm not about that at all. I mean, you're basically
it's not chemically modifying it. No.
Yeah, they are. They're putting a carbohydrate residue to solubilize it. That's exactly what they're doing.
Well, you're not modifying the THC. The THC remains as effective as ever. And with beverages that use this, usually you don't want to use a carbonated beverage because you really want to shake the beverage once.
No, man, that's bullshit. Yeah. If you have to shake it, it ain't a good emulsion, right? If that's the emulsion is settling. No, that's bullshit, Ed. What are you talking about? What you got to do is you have to have a properly balanced oil and water emulsion. Let me explain the chemistry.
Mark, can I just say you're very knowledgeable, but you have a shitty delivery sometimes.
Mark,
Slow your roll. You're
Mark,
talking to Ed Rosenthal there, okay?
That's okay. He's not a chemist, is he? He
no,
doesn't understand
Mark,
chemistry. That's
Mark,
okay.
I was involved in the patent for this.
Okay.
And basically, as I said, it's used in any number, not this particular brand, but this formula basically is used in any number of brands where, like once you shake the can once, like even by putting it up to your face, it's an emulsion, so it's going to distribute throughout the liquid.
It doesn't sound like it's a stable emulsion, Ed, because stable emulsions you don't have to shake.
I didn't
This
say it was
emulsion
you.
that
you
I'm
said,
showing you here is indefinitely stable.
Wait,
like milk.
wait a second. You said stable. I didn't say that. It's an emulsion, and that it stays like if you shake it once, it will stay in the liquid for an hour or more.
I think what Dr. Mark is saying is he's got something that doesn't need to be shaken.
Right.
It's next level shit.
But it doesn't really matter to the consumer.
It does. I'm going to tell you for a second. This is where, again, he has a shitty delivery. I'm just on his side on this one. So there was a company here in Colorado called Keef Cola. They're still around. Okay. Early on, when Keef Cola first came out in 2010-ish or whatever it was, I was doing R&D with a company that was making edibles. They called themselves Epic Foods. And what we wanted to do is get every bud tender to sell our edibles. So I would invite all the bud tenders that our salespeople met the entire week in. We would all get stoned together. I would send them home with a big box of our edibles and ask them to use our products. But before they left, I would always show them the difference between our soda, which was completely, because it was like a turn of the century old chemist. You would have loved her, Dr. Mark. I mean, she had beakers everywhere, and she made this emulsion. It worked, okay? And she made sodas. But the Keef Cola ones were just a whole bunch of swag on the bottom of the bottle. And if you read the bottle, it said, you got to turn over before each sip, And the story we heard was, the couple, one's a stoner, one's not a stoner. The first one says, hey, let me drink 90% of it. Go, and then I'll give it to you. And that's what they did. And who gets stoned? So I'm not into the whole.
This isn't like that, Dave. This isn't like that. You shake it once, it's in the liquid for an hour to 2 hours.
Well, here's a soda that I make, the nano emulsion. This nano emulsion that I make goes into, and you don't have to shake this at all. No shaking.
You do have.
In fact, if you shake it, it's going to spray all over the place.
Are you going to sip it?
No, it's carbonated. It sounds like
it. No, it's fully carbonated. It's a soda.
I said, are you going to sip it?
Wait, is there a trick question?
Pour it over some ice and slam it.
Yes. So you sip. So you're shaking it.
No. Well, you don't. When you pour it,
what Ed is saying,
you're shaking it.
See, Ed had a bad delivery on that one too. What Ed is saying is that if you're just sipping it, then you're not shaking it. But the moment you turn it over to pour it, you're shaking it. So there's your one pour. So wait, Ed, are you saying you just have to decant your can and then that's your pour? You should have gone with that one.
No. Look.
Oh,
let's say this was a can of soda, right?
No, that's a pipe.
With a can of soda.
That's a pipe.
It's right here, and then you go like that, right? You sip it.
Okay. Right? I don't like seeing you use that hand gesture like that.
What if you put a straw? What if you use a straw and use a straw and sip out?
We are so in the weeds here.
Did you literally freeze, or is that only on me?
That's only on you.
Like this? That was one of those.
Oh, grab that. Vinny, Mark, grab that one when Adam did that right there. Note the time in the ship's log. What time is it?
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Adam double donging.
Yeah, we got it.
5:13.
You got it. You got the double dong. Anyways,
but so I think So let's throw it out to the both of you guys now. Let's just change the direction for a second from the science to the legislation. Why wouldn't we just modify the farm bill so that this isn't a loophole, so that this is actually the way it should be, and let that overregulated piece of whatever it is, I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't think we should, because a lot of people would lose a lot of money, and I kind of like it the way it is right now. I'm not into the 50,000 milligram gummy that Ed and I saw there. 50,000 milligrams.
So end cannabis prohibition, and the market for recreational synthetics will go away, right? And Delta 8 and HHC and THCP and all these other compounds will be relegated to researchers like me who are in the laboratory trying to understand whether or not they're useful as cures for anything in the human condition, right? If people have unfettered access to high quality cannabis, they don't need Delta 8. They don't need THCP. They don't need all this other alphabet soup of compounds.
What about hemp-derived THC? Because that's so readily available.
I think that those hemp fields are going to become unprofitable. You know why? It's much easier to make THC using sugar and water and some yeast. And it's going to be
Who's telling you this, Ed? Who's telling you this? This is incorrect. You shouldn't be saying this, and I'm mad that people are telling you that. You cannot do that economically. That does not make economic sense, especially with CBD isolate cratering at about $200 a kilo. You cannot beat chemical conversion of CBD into THC. Now, the one thing I will say is, again, like all of those other like THCP and like THCB and all those other ones with the odd side chains, those can't be made from CBD. Those are made strictly synthetically by a reaction called a terpenylation reaction of the ressourcenols. So those are strictly synthetic. They have nothing to do with hemp, but they're all flying underneath the hemp banner because they're like, oh, we're deriving these things from hemp. They're not derived from hemp at all. They're completely synthetic.
Well,
Adam, did you get that? The terpenylization of terpenols?
The brewing method is ultimately going to be brewing it is going to be much cheaper than growing it. Ultimately, sugar is cheaper than growing it.
But when is that going to happen?
No, not with the overabundance of CBD that's now on the market. It is going to be a challenge for fermentation to catch up with what you can. So if you can get CBD for, again, you're getting it for something like $200-300 a kilo. That's 30 cents a gram. That means you can still be underneath $1 a gram.
I'm looking 10 years ahead, and in 10 years, it's all going to be anything that isn't flour, any kind of concentrate or extract is all going to be made from brew.
Are you trying to say you just invested in some sugar plantations, Ed?
I respectfully disagree with that.
I'm looking for workers.
The driving force is not going to be cannabinoids. You know, the driving force for hemp overtaking soybeans is going to be protein per acre. We need to feed more people on less arable land, and food, not seed, not paper, not fiber, food, seeds, seed protein and seed oil will be the driving force. So hemp can someday overtake soybeans. Now you talk about overtaking soybeans. Now you're up against the likes of Syngenta and Dow and large industrial agriculture like Cargill and whatnot. But ultimately, the amount of protein per acre, hemp hands down beats soybean. So when hemp is now the choice for farmers to grow protein per acre, now there's going to be a lot of byproduct CBD, fiber, herd for hempcrete, and the way that the symbiotic relationship between the lumber industry and the paper industry is going to be replaced by hemp seed crushers and then processing plants across the street from those hemp seed crushers who are going to convert all of that fiber into cellulose feedstock for cardboard and craft paper and not plastics. You can't. That's the other big misnomer is somehow everything plastic can be made from hemp. That's just bullshit. Hemp is not a source of plastic. Hemp is a source of cellulose, and cellulose is paper, and paper is not plastic. If they could make plastic from cellulose, they'd be doing it already from cheaper, more abundant forms of cellulose. So this notion that somehow
what is the hemp plastic made of that they've been making?
Hemp plastic is conventional plastics with hemp filler added, and then trying to charge you more than the plastics that it was derived from. It's still using conventional plastics as we know them, like polyolefins and polystyrenes and things like that. So things that are derived from petrochemicals. It's going to be difficult. The plastics that are in our cell phones and the plastics that we use to make, iPads and computers, it's going to be difficult to basically make moldable plastics economically from just a source of cellulose. Cellulose can be used to make materials like cellophane and other things like that, but it just can't be used, to replace like plastic bottles. That's the whole notion of making a hemp plastic bottle is just stupid and ridiculous.
Mark, can you tell me if you took?
I'm almost sure I saw companies claiming it already.
Yeah, because they're trying to raise money and bilk investors for money. Does that sound familiar? There's bullshit artists all over the place. You guys know Pinsky, right? I mean, there's people that spew shit.
Whoa!
I spoke with him today.
There you go.
So let me ask you a question, Mark.
Yes.
You take that kilo of CBD that you just said was going to crater at $250 a kilo.
A kilo, yeah.
So is my math right? So that's 2.5 cents a milligram?
It's 25 cents a gram.
Okay. What does that $250 kilo convert into THC? What am I left with?
Yeah,
and
so
how much does that process cost?
The cost, well, it depends on what scale you're doing it at and what size equipment you have. But if you invest into a lab with probably like anywhere between $250,000 to about $300,000 worth of equipment, you could run that process and be at a cost to manufacture of less than $1 a gram. Okay. How do you do that from growing cannabis plants? You can't. There's no way. And in fact, I don't think you could extract THC from cannabis and get below like, $7. I don't think so. I think it's going to be somewhere around $7-8, and these guys can do it for less than $1. How do you compete?
So $1 a gram.
So if you're just eating gummies and all you care about is I need 10 milligrams. That 10 milligrams, it's in that manufacturer's best interest to use the cheapest cheapest version of CBD he can possibly get in there, because every money that he's not spending on his products, he's getting from you at the cash register, right?
So let's just go back for a sec. So you're saying $250 for the kilo of CBD. What's my resultant? What am I left over with? Is it?
Yeah. So you can convert one molecule of CBD into a molecule of THC. So your yield
1 to 1.
Yeah, it should be, but theoretically, it's more like probably about 90 or 80%. But you can look at some of these hemp-derived D9 COAs, and they're fucking rocket fuel, man. These things are like in the mid-90s in terms of their percentage of THC. It is difficult, and you talk to anybody in the chat here who's made distillate, to get a distillate reproducibly at like 92 or 93%. Distillates usually come in anywhere between 80 to 85% THC, and there you're co-distilling all the other minor cannabinoids and all the other, there's some terpenes in there, but there's also some flavonoids that give it a lot of flavor. So there's a whole lot more flavor in THC distillate than there is from hemp-derived D9.
You still haven't told me how much it actually. I mean, yes, you said $300,000. For the equipment.
You can make
what does that equate to?
You can make it and still be below $1 a gram, and now sell that stuff for $14, $18, $50 a gram, right? So the margins there are incredible. I'm telling you, people are fucking cleaning up in this area of the market, and the regulated market is pissed. There's a lawsuit. There's a bunch of dispensaries down in Southern California that have gotten together and have a lawsuit to basically try to shut these hemp-derived players down.
What the
and
heck?
Hemp-derived players have a bigger war chest than the cannabis players. Meg Sanders up in Massachusetts.
I love Meg. Miss you, Meg.
Yeah. She has another lawsuit, and I actually reached out to her and said, hey, if you need a expert chemist to help, in your lawsuit, let me know. But yeah, man, it's a fucking shit show. And the problem is too, is like with all of the overproduction that happens in like NorCal and Oregon and everything like that. I mean, the bottom of that market's fallen out. So there's basically sandbagging going on, and people are selling below production costs to put the mom and pops out of business. So it's just a real shit show.
That's fucking terrible. I mean, it's either terrible or it's going to be the future. I mean, right? It's either going to get quashed or it's the end of the regulated cannabis industry that we know of, because there is no way to compete against the numbers you just said.
I wanted to comment on something Ed said. So, Ed, I do believe fermentation has its place in cannabinoid production, but for the rares. Don't try to make THC and CBD. All those things can be made easily in cannabis plants. We don't need fermentation to make the common cannabinoids. We need fermentation to get the minors made in large enough quantities so we can start studying them. It would be good to be able to make like THCV isolate. So right now, THCV isolate is being made in a chemical conversion of CBDV isolate in a very same process that they're using to convert CBD into THC. So if we could come up with a fermentation method to make, large amounts of THCV, THCV's got great activity. It's the unmunchies cannabinoid, right? The cannabinoid that'll make you lose weight. Imagine if you put THCV into a diet beverage.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's like the Ozempic, right? I mean,
the Ozempic of weed. That's all you got to do.
More science on the undone shit.
Killing it.
Yeah. So I'm not poo-pooing fermentation, Ed. Not for the minors. He's already pissed at me.
Ed put his closer on.
He's coming to beat you up right there. He's coming over to clock you.
Was I disrespectful to Ed? I didn't mean to be.
No. Listen, wait. Hold on for a minute. I have to give Jane. Oh, you got it? Okay. No, Jane was needed a code from my phone, so that's what that was about.
Oh, whew. We thought you brought Jane on to pistol whip Dr. Mark.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you.
Yeah, we thought we were bringing in.
That it would be great to be able to use fermentation to make some of the minor cannabinoids. That's true, but I think that the fermentation process is going to become a lot more efficient than it has been in the past. And as a result of that, we're going to see its use even more in chemistry. So.
I agree, Ed, but I would say that if the cannabis plant teaches us anything, it teaches us a lot of things, right? But it teaches us sort of like the Ethan Russo entourage, or the Lester Grinspoon ensemble effect, right? And so how do you make a live resin by fermentation? You can't. Can you make isolates? Yes, absolutely. Can you do it kind of like in a batch type pharmaceutical production? I think so. And I think you're right. I think there is going to be a place for that in the future. But I think the high quality cannabis concentrates that we all love is not just a single isolate cannabinoid, but it's the terpenes and it's the other things that are in these trichomes that we just love about the plant. And I'm not sure you could recreate that in a
Well, I
fermentation
think that,
production.
as you said, you could make the individual cannabinoids and then combine them for things. Like
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
for
basically
instance, you were saying,
the cannabis
well,
plant
maybe,
does a pretty good job at that, right?
yeah, but
We tend to think we can do better for some weird reason, but it never really seems to work that way.
Yeah, but all those companies that are selling, like true terpenes and like you kind of get like their sour diesel thing doesn't taste like sour, right? Ask bro if the true terpenes cocktail is sour, it smells like sour. And those guys at Abstracts, you guys know Ian Oswald and TJ at Abstract, those guys kind of honed in on the non-terpenoid compounds like these thiols, these sulfur-containing compounds, and some of these esters and other sweet-smelling compounds. So, I mean, there's the terpenes, and we could try to pretend like we're Mother Nature and try to recreate sour diesel and recreate train wreck and recreate this. But why would you recreate that when you could get a really good live resin extraction of high quality flower?
And the other thing too is that no matter what, even if it was in the high 90s as far as like replication, something got lost, right? And then the next guy would never know about that, and then it would go another generation and and about 4 or 5 generations down the line of people making it, you wouldn't even be close to the original, because those little tiny bits lost along the way. It's the master tape. It's the master tape theory. You know what I mean? Like every fucking master tape creates more mistakes that keep getting replicated.
A lot of that, Adam, has to do with the extractor and the technique. So to be biblical, right? It's not just it's fruit of the vine and work of human hand. So not every extractor, like if you take, AK's buddy Jari, this guy just makes everything is just fucking gassy and just fucking great. But when you try to mass produce that beyond, just harvesting one room, now I got an entire greenhouse and it's going to take me 5 days to process all of that oil. It's just something is lost in the artisan small scale production for the products that you and I like.
It's kind of like what you just said there. It takes 5 days, meaning anything in the beginning is not the same as at the end. Like the kitchen is not going to cook the same meal at the end of the night as it does the first one. You don't want the first one. You want the later when it's all heated up, properly.
But you know what? Everything that we're talking about is speculation. So we're just speculating. There's no right or wrong. It's just these are all
no. Dr. Mark is right,
and it will be a combination of all of them, or processes that we're not even aware of yet. Maybe direct from
only
DNA.
Like Dave said, only Dr. Mark is correct. The rest of us.
He doesn't lose many arguments.
He's got degrees. Look at us.
Well, but I told him. Didn't you hear what I said right before the show started? If you look over it would be his right shoulder, right? Oh no, left shoulder. He has room for 3 more degrees there.
Look at the big picture.
And one in the middle, right there, underneath that small one there. Are they something? Are the bigger the degree? Does it make it? It's like that's the.
Actually, the 2 big ones there are my wife's degrees. She's got a bachelor's in psychology. She's got a bachelor's in psychology and a master's in early childhood education. So
exactly the spouse needed for you.
Mine, but those 2 are hers.
It's so good that your wife does that. She can,
when you hire a consultant, it's good for the clients to see that behind me.
I get it.
We're hiring this guy. He's smart. It's just all marketing.
I get it.
So I don't know if Ed Rosenthal. If I was Ed Rosenthal, I wouldn't need those plaques behind me.
Right, and you were mean to him earlier too.
I didn't mean to be mean. I showed my emotion, and he said that's not the only one.
Hey,
so
we're going to get shadow banned for you putting that emulsion on the screen more than once. So I'm curious because I don't see there being any movement on this legislatively in this cycle. If any, I mean, no one is going to address this specifically. We might see some type of scheduling change. I mean, really, because it looks like the Democrats are this feckless fucking party that really sits and does nothing. And then you've got the Republicans that put up every bad idea. So we're in the Lewis Black thing. One has an idea. The other side says, I can make it worse. And so I don't see there being any movement on this. So I heard so many of these Delta 9 THCA vendors saying, I don't give a fuck. In 18 months, I'll have made $100 million.
Right.
$100 million.
Right. Well,
and they'll be sold at every gas station across the country.
Right. And they don't have third-party testing.
Nope.
And they don't have to get background checks on all their employees. They don't have to have
seat-to-sale camera.
Onerous, security
metric
systems. Yeah, I mean. So I think, I said it before, if they end cannabis prohibition, I think the market for recreational synthetics will go away. And I do think that, again, I'm not sure that they fully contemplated this when they signed the Farm Bill in 2018. I believe they were snookered on seeds and fiber.
No. Hold on a sec. I don't buy that for a second. I don't think Congress reads 90% of the legislation that comes through. They read the top page or whatever aide told them about it. So you know what? They don't get a fucking mulligan on this one. You know, they don't get a mulligan. It's time to fucking change the entire system. And you know what? Maybe this mistake or loophole, like you call it, just opened up, right? The emperor wears no clothes. Jack was right. It really was hemp. It was all about massive fields being planted fucking everywhere, saving the planet Earth. You know,
well, and again, the reason for doing that, I can't emphasize this enough. The reason for doing that is not for THC and not for CBD. The reason for doing that is food. We need more food for more people. That is the economic driver. It's food.
You need a diversity. Just remember the potato famine.
Okay, and what about the potato famine?
Well, you know about the potato famine in Ireland? Ireland became dependent as on potatoes for its main calories, and then there was this rot that came, and it destroyed the entire potato crop, and it was the crop that Ireland. It was the main crop that Ireland had. Now, the British had a lot to do with the starvation and the famine, but what happened was that the crop failed. So you don't want to be dependent upon one source of either protein or carbohydrate or anything like that. You need you need a multitude of sources. If one fails, the others won't. Corn, wheat, the whole thing of it, and rice. All of those caloric and protein foods, you can't be dependent upon one species. It's very dangerous.
I agree. I think hemp is one of those bottom of the pyramid crops that can actually go into animal feed. It could go into human feed.
Yeah, I understand that. But I know people whose crops have failed because of the hops latent virus and other viruses, something like a tobacco mosaic virus. And the second year, their crops just failed. They abandoned.
Well, that's the thing. If we do anything intensively, you're going to have mass problems.
Well, you know what? It's better than us growing synthetic shit. I'd rather figure out a way. Maybe there's something we can do in crop rotation to prevent that.
Listen, I'm not saying there aren't solutions to it, or we shouldn't use hemp as part of the entire resources that humans have. But you can't be dependent upon one crop for
No.
only one
Agreed.
crop. Should that
Only
agree.
hemp is only in addition to hemp's just not even in the, it's
No.
not even in the picture right
But
now. So imagine adding it. It's just another piece.
I think where hemp could help is an animal feed, and certainly a lot of people eat, Big Macs and hamburgers and chickens, and farmers have now fed a high hemp seed diet to their hens, and they're showing that cannabinoids are actually found in the eggs and the chicken protein. So I think there is agricultural innovation that can really help. And I think what that'll create is an economy that is multiple in the materials that it can deliver. And like the byproducts of making seeds and seed oil can basically be used to make hempcrete and cardboard and paper and packaging, renewable packaging and whatnot. So yeah, I think there's a whole economy to be born there.
I think they also figured out that a little bit of hemp and seaweed mixed into the diet of the cows reduced like their belching by like 80%, which is the whole fucking thing everybody's worried about with global warming, right? It's not even the parts, it's the fucking belching, right? And so they just gave them a little bit of seaweed and hemp mixed into the diet, and it was like, oh look, 80% less, So if that
you made cow tums? Holy shit!
Much. Yeah, giant cow tums.
But lowering the emissions from beef production would be a huge thing because the world is in love with beef, right?
Well, wait, I want to go back to this hemp mixed with seaweed thing. This seems like a revolutionary idea, groundbreaking, like a corporation would make jillions off of it.
It literally was in NPR about a year and a half ago, and I was like, oh, look, hemp and seaweed. That's a fucking
Mark's laughing at us. Well, you're laughing at me.
Why is he laughing?
I don't know. He's laughing at me.
I think it's a funny conversation. That's all. Right?
What are you talking about? Do you know how? Mark, you could probably quantify. Do you know how much money has been made off some of the shit that Adam and I have said over the years, on the air, off the air, where somebody went and took it and made a fuck ton of money? So why not we come up with one we keep for ourselves? Come on, seaweed mixed with hemp. We'll feed it to all the cow. Ed will be our head salesperson, and he'll sell to all the cow farms, and all the McDonald's will be healthy.
Put on a
Dave. Too late.
It's just us here, though. We don't upload the show till later. Nobody's listening.
No one's live. There's not hundreds of people live right now or anything like that.
Fuck. Well, then just cut us in, please.
Sure.
Are you saying that possibly hemp and seaweed could make healthy McDonald's food?
No, it's
I could
more about
actually
them
eat it
not
again.
burping. So I mean, it's the non-belching cow situation. So it's not necessarily. I mean, it's a little healthier, I guess, but they don't even use meat, do they? I mean, they're pretty much using they're going to go straight lab. They're going to go lab soon. I'm sure. Any option to not have to touch actual. It's all sawdust.
But wait, they're not going to go lab for dairy.
What?
No.
They're not going to lab for dairy. You see, they might make an artificial meat, right? Or actually grow a meat or something like that. But nobody's talked about making milk.
Well, because they need to keep making more cows.
No, but
they're trying to sell all that bullshit.
Even
Mark makes milk.
Even if people stopped eating beef, they'd still be eating dairy. So this would be a good thing for dairy cows.
I think we weren't differentiating. If cows in general, any animal that we cultivate, we farm raise, domestic production, if we can give them seaweed, this is like all I hear is that 70s show, Hyde going, it runs on water, right? I mean, how close to it is it? I mean, come on. We could change the world. Jack, and we'll give all the credit to Jack.
That's when you get taken out back, though, when you're like, hey, I got this thing, it runs on water. They're like, good job, come on through. Come through here. Step into the room, please. You're like, what's going on? You got a party going on here? Like, no.
But we just told at least 1,000 people by tomorrow morning. Probably 10,000 if you include the ones that don't watch us. So it's out there now.
Here's what you do. You take the biosynthetic pathway that that Ed was talking about in fermentation, and you clone it into kelp. And that way kelp will now produce cannabinoids and feed that to the cows.
Fuck. Okay, let's do it. Ed told me about he told me about that we were going to actually be making all the cannabinoids in petri dishes, that we we're going to be cultivating it from yeast. I think you told me this like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's been done. It's been demonstrated. You just can't do it economically. You can't do it economically.
Now,
well, what needs to change? When Ed says now, what in the process needs to change?
Well, so a lot of the
one at a time.
A lot of the engineering that's going into these is to try to figure out how to increase what's called titer. And titer is how much of the enzymatic product you're getting per liter of solution. So right now, if you look at like the most advanced cannabinoid biosynthetics in yeast and in bacteria, it's somewhere around, I want to say maybe about 4 to maybe 6 grams per liter. So think about that. You have a liter. You know how much like a 2-liter bottle is? You could basically put about 6 grams of stuff in there. Now, at the end of the day, it's going to cost a lot to separate those cannabinoids, and then you have to dry them because they were all wet. So is that more economical than extracting it from a cannabis plant or than making it synthetically from CBD? Yeah, it really depends.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, that in 10 years, the technology of doing it will probably be considerably more efficient.
It could be. What it's going to require. So the problem with the cannabinoid biosynthetic pathway is not the enzymes that make olivotolic acid, but it's the GOT enzyme, which is the enzyme that transfers the geranyl pyrophosphate to the olivotolic acid, and that's called GOT, which is.
Hold on a second. I said 1,000 people were listening. Like 50 just left. What?
Geranyl olivotolic acid transferase, whatever. That is a membrane-bound enzyme, and it's not very efficient. So they have to figure out ways to engineer that enzyme to be more efficient in its process. That's it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know how long it will take before the price. What is about? What do we? I mean, look, there's horrible to say, but there's a lot of ways to skin a cat here.
I'm not trying to tell them the fuck you're talking about.
More.
It's got to be economically viable.
Hey, wait a second. There's someone.
Oh, geez. Did you give your cat a mohawk or a hawk mow down the middle?
A hawk mow?
Remember the 2 wrestlers? One had a mohawk, the other had a hawk mow. You put them together, they had one set of hair.
So he resented that phrase that you used.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, it does have a hawk.
Yeah.
It looks like where I'm looking at it with your camera turned like that, it looked that
I see a hawk mow. I see a hawk mow.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
It's there.
You shaved it right down the middle.
You fucked up, Ed. You fucked up, Ed.
Yeah, really. That's really fucked up, Ed. I know you a long time. That's that might be
torture.
It right there, buddy.
Cat torture. That's all people want to know.
So let's while I have you 2 experts here, and what do you think is going to happen before November? You think there's going to be a reschedule? Because I don't see the current administration being able to hold on. I don't think there are any more people that would vote for the other guy right now. I just think he's pissed off enough of his base that they just might not show up.
Fuck him.
Moving a medicinal plant to Schedule 3 is going to fail miserably. Who's going to buy Schedule 3 mids from a pharma company? Nobody.
You said his name earlier.
If they move this to Schedule 3, you know who's going to win? The trap market. The trap market will win all day long. That's it.
So,
they get to keep enforcement.
I think that as far as Biden winning, the Alabama Supreme Court just handed him his victory, because that Supreme Court said that embryos used for implantation are all human beings. And so it stopped that whole thing of in vitro fertilization. So people who want to have a baby are going to be prevented. So not only have they alienated people who are pro-choice, they alienate people who want to have children but need help doing it.
Make you want to kick a fat kid at Kmart.
What?
Oh, that was just Vinny with a drop.
Okay.
So wait. So what you're saying is, when you came on the show a few weeks ago and we're all about your plan B, what you just said should actually drive more voters to the current administration, because they need those reproductive rights and they don't like the decision.
Right. So it's not only people who want the right, of choice, but it's people who want to have a child and need some help doing it. Because in Alabama, the hospital stopped any program of in vitro fertilization. That is trying to help people have a child.
You just said the word Alabama. That's where it all got kind of fucked up. Oh, yeah, no, Alabama. All right, well.
But it's just the beginning of what it's a signal. Start there and move north, for the anti. And I think I still have a plan B, which you don't have to be here. That's my plan B.
You know what? I actually had people write to me to say how much they enjoyed the position I took against that bullshit with the plan B, fleeing. You don't stay, you don't leave, you stay and you fight the good fight. You stay for democracy if that's what you really feel. You give up. If you're going to leave, then you should think they're going to come for you then.
So Hitler won 35 votes, and the people near and around him said, "We know how we'll contain him. We'll make him the prime minister, and we'll be all his ministers, and we'll control him." And everything that Hitler did, he did in his first.
He's not Hitler. Come on.
No, he's Mussolini. He's not Hitler. He's Mussolini.
I'm biting the fart bubbles in the bath.
Mark, you want to take this one? Is there any scientific way to debate this?
Get out of the
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to get back to talking cannabis. I think we got off on a tangent here.
Yes.
So that's,
there you go.
Air fryer and breathe in the already fried air.
He's using the same language that Mussolini and Hitler used, spoiling our blood, rapists.
Okay, Ed, come on.
He is. So
okay, well, you know what? Call a political show. Talk about cannabis, right?
Yeah.
How can you do something with this cannabis plant to get it out to the masses, to get more people relaxed?
I think we've been doing a pretty good job, like when cannabis was first prohibited, they estimated users. And like now there are something like 100 million cannabis users. So I think that's a pretty good work.
Right.
I think that, by the way, if you want to bring the price of cannabis up, I know a way to do it.
How you do that? How do you do that, Ed?
How could you do it? How about prohibition?
Yes. Great. Well, we're already back to that again. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I don't think we
all those big pharma companies, they'd be out of it. It would be back to individuals, So
it doesn't matter what happens with scheduling, rescheduling, descheduling, all of it. At the end of the day, time will heal everything. There are 5 coffee companies globally, right? There's 2 fast food chains. You think you have choice, but there's really only 2. You know, there's two major producers of alcohol, or four. You know, come on. At the end of the day, it will all become Taco Bell, and we will still have boutique growers. There'll still be the Adams out there, and the Dukes, and the JJs, and all of that. But people fucking want their Budweiser, and they want their mids, and they're going to grow massive amounts of it. And oh well.
Wait. You know what? The major beer companies have been losing to these craft beer companies as a whole. The percentage of beer that they're producing has been going down as compared with the craft. So there's room for everybody, as you said.
Agreed. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ed, always. Adam, don't you have a whole, what is there, 150 people in Rhode Island that you're going to bring on now?
It's
all through their individual phones?
Adam Dunn here, you know.
Half of Rhode Island's here, actually. Yeah, kind of good. So
there's 100 people in the room.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
Let's see how fast he does it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Frozen.
And 5.
And he's gone.
You keep talking, man.
You reek of weed.
So, Mark, what's going down? That was great.
Yeah.
Marky.
We'll have you both back on again, but with
we'll have to do. We'll do it as like exactly. I was going to say like a luchador kind of style. We'll get it so we know what we're getting into now. Is he even there?
Wait a minute. You know what you're getting into. How long have you known Mark? As long as I have. It always. He kidding me? This is
he brings the heat. He brings the heat. That's Dr. Mark Scialdone. Okay, there you go.
Oh yeah, because
hey Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
So, Mark, we're going to be seeing you in Barcelona, or what?
Oh, I don't know. I have to.
Barcelona.
I have to watch
Barcelona
these days.
Wait, let's not get off the THCA yet thing. If there's a THCA vendor out there who would like to slap the Adam Dunn Show logo on, we will participate in the 33 million you'll make next month. So anybody out there who has a hemp license, you'll pardon us, Mark. We'll do business for 1 month with him, you know, and we'll sell some Adam Dunn Show flour. That is all.
Yeah, I'm live for the next hour.
I think we should just listen to Adam's conversation.
Right. Sorry.
It's all right. I was just saying we need a THCA vendor.
It's one of those classics where they like sit down and they're like, wait, we're not like on like a radio or something, are we? It's like, yeah, we're live. We're live. Thousands, if not millions of people.
I was John Smith.
Anyway,
tens of thousands by tomorrow.
All right, tell me back to the THCA.
I think we need, if there is anyone listening out there who has a THCA farm and you're selling flour, we're up for a licensing agreement with the Adam Dunn Show. You slap this flag on there, we'll sell it. We'll take a piece of the 33 million bucks you make next month. We're all golden. Nobody will fault us. We need to take a little out. Mark will laugh at us the whole time, but you know what?
Sounds like a solid plan.
Yeah.
I'm down. We're all down.
There we
right?
go.
We're like, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And Potter, if you're listening, man, fucking reach back out to me. We're ready to go to Washington too. So let's go. Let's fucking go. This right here, we have a ready-made logo. See?
But then we're gonna get sued by Meg Sanders and the like.
you know what? She'll sue somebody else, a big guy. You know, we'll be a little guy. She'll let me have a month. We threw Meg and I threw the most raging party in 2017 in Vegas during MJ BizCon. We had the Lenny Kravitz suite. We had 400 people inside and probably 300 people waiting to get in. Sid gave me literally a pillowcase full of joints, and I walked around like Santa, gave them out the whole time.
Sid Gupta?
Yeah. It's a long time ago. Yeah. You said his name on the air. You're in trouble.
Ago. I don't think Sid Gupta's walking around with a bag of pillowcase of joints today.
No, he's got flower farm going. That's his New York operation. That's fucking amazing. Yeah.
If that's what you say.
And he's working with AJ. Yeah. I'm sure they're producing some quality flower out there.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure AJ's getting paid.
AJ doesn't do anything if he doesn't get paid.
If he doesn't get paid, that's right.
Okay. What? He's smarter than I am. I'm sitting here fucking groveling to pay my Xfinity bill by midnight. What are you talking about? Whatever. He's did it better than I did. You know what? I don't fault
How
him.
about our other mutual friend Pinsky? What's he up to these days?
You'd have to give him a call. He's a dad.
I know he's a daddy. Yeah. Again, right?
Yep. He's got a little kid. He's, look, man, it everybody has a backstory. I'm sure you have skeletons in your closet too there, Dr. Mark.
Yeah.
There's somebody.
Dr. Mark?
When I was in sixth grade.
Yeah. I mean, look,
skeletons you have closet. I listen to it all the time.
You have such just a bubbly personality. You've never, ever, ever, gotten into it with someone and just they had some dirt on you or something. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I say the same thing every fucking week. The weed gets better and better and better. We get to smoke it. I smoke the weed. Yeah. So are you not going to be able to have anybody at the pharmacist there, the place?
Oh no, I am. I'm just trying to get people's attention, but it's always hard. Now everyone's in their own zone. I was going to get Jordan to go cruise around because he knows everybody here. It's pretty dope, dude. It's like there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Pick your camera up so we can see your face.
What?
There we go.
What are you talking about? Jesus,
all we saw was the
director
bottom
now?
of your chin.
Oh.
I was waiting for Mark to tell you, but I guess he wasn't going to say anything.
How long? Oh yeah, right there. I can see it now.
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes of chin. Hey, check out the chin. It's pretty clean. At least I have a chin halfway there.
So
anyway,
tell me about the place you're in. What is this place?
All right, so Tetrahydra Club is the first club on the East Coast. Come here. I'm getting Jordan's attention now. I'm going to have him cruise around and go to all the booths. So basically, they do this every week. So it's every Friday, and they listen to the show. A lot of guys. There's a guy over here called Weedbogs420 on Instagram, who basically smokes bong. He'll smoke out of anything and everything. He's literally like, oh, it's snowing out. I'm going to make a snowman and smoke out of the snowman. Oh, there's a bunch of lemons. I'm going to smoke out of a lemon. Yeah, whatever the fucking thing is, he's stunning.
Got it.
And when he saw us do the nitrous bong, he was like, oh shit, let me ask Jordan if it's acceptable. And Jordan gave him the permission to do nitrous bongs down here. So they're going to start doing nitrous bongs. And it's funny, I went and saw my friend today that I was telling you about 37 years ago or whatever. I told him that I went by all the old houses. First thing he said was, oh man, remember the bong? Remember? Yeah. And I said, oh yeah, I was telling the story on the show about how I made the coffin that you would flip upside down. And he was all like, yeah, that was great. Remember that time when that guy was at the party at your house and your mom came out and was like, hey, you got to keep it down. The neighbors are getting kind of complaining. And the guy was like, yo, that's that hot chick from the Gansett. And it was like, because there was an older dude hanging out at our party in our little party barn. And he's like, that's that hot chick. And he's like, that's Adam's mom, man. It's like, oh shit, man. But yeah, it's just so funny. Those are the stories that are like resonating in people's brains out here. Like, remember, we went into like about 2 stories. And one of them that he told me, which was hilarious, was he goes, remember that time when you were fooling around with that girl Michelle? And I'm all, no. Like I couldn't remember in my brain. He goes, yeah, you remember. And your car broke down. And then you like no, it was like this girl. The guy from ROTC was like, saw me in my Tempest, in my old 66 Tempest. And me and that kid were like flipping him off, going like, fuck you, I'm banging your chick. It was like one of those moments. And all of a sudden I went to start my car and it wouldn't start. And the guy had to push start it. And I'm like, I totally don't remember the story beforehand, but I was like, started to come back to me and I was like, wow, that's a good one. It was like a total movies moment, right? Where you're flipping the dude off. He's wearing his ROTC gear. He's running across the thing to beat me up. And then we're all laughing with our long hair and we're in our fucking heavy metal phase or whatever. And then car wouldn't start. He's like, he told me, like, it was a good flashback. Anyway, I digress. What's going on, bro? But yeah, this spot is, I think I saw 5 years now? No, just 7 years now? 10 years. No, 10 years. Literally 10 years this place has been here, which is amazing for the East Coast, right? And Jordan's got such a good history because he's fought and battled the locals here, and with no like real old school like New England leverage. It wasn't like, oh, my dad's a judge, or none of that. It was the exact opposite. It was more like, dad's just a carpenter, mom's super cool, and he's ambitious. Saw a lot what was going on in Colorado and what we were doing. Decided to do his own version out here when we had the Hood Lab, and kind of like did pretty much it's like the same vibe. And quite funny though, because it's like one of those deals where he's in the smallest town, and I grew up in Rhode Island, so for me he's like in a very small town, and things don't like this do not normally occur. Like there's no place like the Tetrahydra Club is there. No place like this club is there. Yeah, there's no place like that, right? No. I got my uncle right next to me hanging out. I got Uncle Al.
Does he have a Rhode Island accent?
Fuck yeah, he's got. Look at him. Come here.
Get him on. Get him close to you.
Come over here on this camera here so you can see us. Come on, Uncle Al.
Holy shit!
Uncle Al's here, man. What's up?
Look at this. This is like we're like at our peak, probably.
We
like,
are close.
We're at like peak closeness as far as looks and stuff go, because
Now I didn't even recognize you, man.
He's like, what the hell? Exactly. And I look like him now, so there you go. That's how it goes. But yeah, Uncle Al's here. I was telling him on the way over, I was like, I might have to get him on because he was there the day I walked home from fucking got driven home, actually, I should say, sorry, from school for selling weed, right? So I got the rep. I walked in. Uncle Al was there, shaking his head, giving me the fucking the obviously he has to be disappointed, right? but here, come here.
Did he wave you off?
So no, he's here. He's really bad, so I'm just sort of giving him I got to give the story without him even knowing. So I gave him the story about me coming home with Grace, walking in, you're at the kitchen table, shaking your head like you fucking dumbass, right?
What'd you get caught doing?
And this is when I got caught with weed, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Just fucking stupid for getting caught.
Yeah, exactly. So like my and the first thing I walk in, and my grandfather goes, my grandmother goes, Adam got suspended from school, right? And my grandfather goes, what, for fighting? And he got all happy.
Yeah, right.
And then I go, and she goes, no, he was selling weed. And then Al goes, what the fuck? And then he goes, he comes over to me, grabs me by the back of my hair, like little fucking shorts in my hair, and goes, what the fuck you doing, right? And I'm like, oh, damn. It's like, yeah. And I go, and then they go, he said he got it from Hawaii. And I goes, like gave me the extra fucking thing. He goes,
yeah, look, y'all.
He lifted me up. He goes, dude, your fucking mom just came from Hawaii. Now you look like a fucking. It was like the classic. I got all the scoldings, and he goes, one thing, just don't fucking get caught. And I was like, go to your room. And I'm like, and I go, don't get caught. That's all he had to know.
Do whatever you want, just don't get caught.
Exactly what he said. It was pretty funny. So anyway, there's my.
Tell him about sneaking down, taking my guns out and shit like that.
Oh, I said that on the other show. I said that on other shows. All the sneaking
your friends. M16.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, pretty much. All the stories. I've given them over time. It's been like a little bits and pieces. But anyway, so this is where I grew up, so it makes it even more funny. So I just had the girl sitting next to me before. That was my first girlfriend. Then I got my uncle over here. I got Victor, who's the guy from the Gray Area, who's also a Rhode Island legend. And then they actually named this place the Gray Area. And then the real Gray Area sent a cease and desist to this guy. And he goes, I know Victor.
Fuck out of here.
He goes, I know Victor. And he goes, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cease and desist. Can you believe it?
So let's back up for a second, because there's a little bit to unpack.
A lot
Uncle Al, if you want to hear. So let's just think for a second.
He sat down, and I didn't even recognize it was him for a second, because I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? I thought it was this other guy. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, that's my fucking uncle. So it's bad.
And now we have your chin again, but we get Al in there. But think about it. You're what were we, 16 years old? Got busted? 15? selling weed?
14 or something. Yeah, 12.
Okay.
13
So-
or something. I was really young.
Think
Fifth
about
grade. I
what
was
the
in fifth
fuck
grade.
would happen to you
Whatever
today.
fifth grade is. No, I'm like 12 years old or something. I don't know. Yeah, I was young. Oh, I'd be in so much trouble. No, they even told me, they were like, should we call the cops? And it was like, no, his grandmother's coming. And I was just like, oh, thank God, no cops got involved. So I never got in dealt with the cops. I gave it away. I didn't sell it. So they didn't like have to call the cops because I gave it to because they said, no, I was like, I didn't sell it. I gave it to those girls. I basically just gave it to chicks. I'd taken weed, gave it to a couple chicks, thought I was cool, you know, classic. In classic
14
maneuver,
years old.
Yes. That's what you do. No, I don't think I was that old. I was fifth grade, so I was like 12 years old. I was like I was like really young. Super young. way too young. That's why they were like, really? Okay. But you know, it's funny that it was a different time, of course, you know. So it
Sure.
was
Well, no,
it was
at 12 years
definitely
old,
a
we
small
blame
town.
Ace.
Right. Anyway,
and then you took his guns. Holy shit. That would have been, think of that one.
I didn't take him anywhere. I just took him out and played with him a lot. That was me. Because he had a whole bunch of so my grandfather, his father was, worked in they came from Springfield, and Springfield Armory is where my grandfather worked. So he had all the gun parts and things. And so it was all about, I was just like, and then like Al had all the cool shit. So I would go break into his room when he left, get into his stuff and start playing around with everything. Of course, I'm sure he knew everything, you know, classic. So Can you get Jordan for me so I can?
Want me to go get him?
Yeah.
Bring him up here.
Yeah, just tell him to come up. Thanks. Oops. Put him on a mish. I put him on a mish. But the funny part was Al was into kickboxing and guns and motorcycles and all the cool shit you could be into at that time period. So for me, it was like, you know, and I got stuck living with my grandmother when I was a kid. So that was my cool uncle. I had like two uncles. I had him and I had my other uncle, which was Uncle Chuck. And Uncle Chuck was into sports and drinking and that vibe stuff. And he was a school teacher. He was a substitute teacher. So sometimes I would have my own uncle as a substitute teacher where I'd be like, this actually sucks really bad. Because I'd come home and he'd be at home and I'd be like, you motherfucker, why'd you do that? You know, and he'd be like, ha ha. You know, it'd be like one of those deals where he'd just be like making stories about me and fucking with people. Like people would be like, oh my God, I can't believe that. I'd be like, it wasn't even true, dude. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, he said so. He said you pissed your pants until the last year. I'm like, no, dude.
No, he didn't piss his pants. He just got busted selling weed by the cops, man. They took him down at gunpoint when he was in 5th grade.
No, they have the local drugstore was called Adam's Drugs, right? So it's a big sign. So then that was the big good joke in town, of course, because like, yeah, drugs, man. He's the druggy kid. So then I leaned hard into the drug kid persona. So as you can tell. Can you take that link that I got you and just cruise around and interview a couple of your people because you already know them, and since I don't have to go up there and be like, "Hi, who are you?" Just go to some of your full booths and tell me who's who and get on the link I sent you or whatever.
Hey boys, I'm going to jump.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate you. Thanks for sticking it out.
Thanks for coming
Talk
in.
to you later.
Okay, well, if you know anybody that's you got
Hold on,
we gotta get
one or two, your own people. Yeah,
everybody.
I can't. Yeah, but I can't work because
Yeah, I
I'm
don't care.
doing everything through here.
No,
So
give him
his own phone. All right, send him the link. Get Weed Boggs up here. He's one of our big fans.
This is going to
I
ever
told
be
him about the
referred to
nitrous
as the
part.
chin
I said you were
episode.
approved. I said you approved nitrous assisted bongs. He said
Oh,
so.
shit.
He told me so.
I approve of
Okay, there you go. It's approved. See, there you go.
Now that
Fix
big
the
no,
camera
chin's right
again.
He
over
said
you,
he
dude.
asked you, and you said yes. So.
why we have them.
There you
No,
go.
we don't have him, but he might have him. You never know.
Oh,
He
he
might
just has
have.
to back up. There, perfect.
Sorry, I'm just moving close to the thing.
It's
I
a thumb
understand.
episode.
I'm trying to get the. It's tough. Keep moving in. I got things. So I gave a little. Oh, look at there's some close-ups. I get to see my shave. What the hell? How am I getting a low battery? Hold on.
Oh, here we go. And right
Hold
as
on.
Dr. Mark leaves.
It's gonna
Yeah, I
be.
know Mark
What the
is like, yo, it might happen.
It's gonna.
It
happen.
might happen.
It's gonna happen.
Come on, I got it plugged in.
This is when it happens.
This is gonna happen, dude.
Yep.
I know
I
it.
got it plugged in. Even.
It's
I got it
okay. I'll
plugged
talk
in
about the
and
show I
backed
did
up
with the
and-
porn star. The adult film actress. She was amazing.
Well, no, I got 80%. I got 80% on my iPad, so I can bring it through the iPad.
Cloud it out, guys. The settings
Ay, ay, ay.
Ugh.
Oh, here we go. Now we got a reunion.
Got a legend.
We got legend reunion.
That place looks gorgeous. Oh, yeah. Have you been by there? Never. You sure?
Oh, sorry.
I never.
All right. Move the conversation. Victor's voice will go through like walls and shit. Move the conversation.
Yeah, Victor. Fuck off, Victor.
His problem is when he's on the mic, you still can't hear him, so you don't know what he's saying. You just go like,
Back up, Shin Man.
Sorry. All right, here. Oh, I gotta move it closer. Oh. All right, so you got the thing.
That's it.
You jump in whenever you want. Send it over to him. All right, now we're good. How's that? Crooked and Oak back is better.
No, all great. Now you have ist
Thank you.
on your shoulder. You have a little green man. So what
that
brought
smoke
you?
looked good on the smoke effect looked good on the guy, on my buddy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
What
Sure
brought
did.
you out to Rhode Island?
Well, there you go. Good. Dude, are you a professional Segway creator? Is that what you've been going
I'm trying
night
to
school
turn the debacle of you not having a studio into the interview of Adam Dunn now. What brought you to Rhode Island?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Great question there, Dave. You really know how to ask good questions. I went, so our buddy Tim Larson, shout out to Timmy. He's here in the room. Something from Timmy, his Instagram, and he is a student of the Adam Dunn Show / let's say D-Money School of Growing when we were partnering up back in the day, and he got whipped and beaten down to submission by D-Money, and but he did learn a lot.
Notice Adam said that, D-Money. I didn't say that, okay? Adam is saying that. I love you.
In the 2 years,
I would
in the
never
2
say
years
that.
in the 2 years that he was in Colorado, which was crazy because it was one of those deals where when people are somewhere in 2 years and all of a sudden in 2 years, lots of shit happens. He managed to absorb a lot, work for a bunch of good groups of people that we were involved with, and then come back to Massachusetts and started working for a company called Happy Valley, which I kind of put him in that position because I got another good friend of mine named Colin Palmer who used to work there, and he was looking for like talented grow people, and I figured out I put them together, and when I did, it was like the best because the only person who survived after 5 years in that company was Tim, really. Everybody else to the curb or replaced, and he pretty much stayed the distance, which was awesome. And so after 5.5, I think it was almost 5.5 years, he called me and said that they were looking to start a new breeding. They already just started a new breeding program, and they were looking for guidance on some stuff. And I was like, well, you finally came around, so let's do some work together. So I believe we're going to put together a few cool projects, but they're very professional and really got their shit together, and they're one of the best brands out in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is interesting because they have some like state, they have some policies they're working on, which about exporting seeds across to other legal states, and they are getting pretty close to full acceptance on that. So seeds and genetics could be transferred from state to state, which would be very, very interesting because that could open the doors for some continuity across the board and people having the ability to pull stuff like that. You got that link, so whenever you want, jump in. We got Weed Boggs in the house right here, sitting right next to me, but on his own, fill in. Let's see if we can hear you. I don't know if we can hear you, but
And he's connecting. It says it's connecting.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm going to check that out in a second, but no, don't even worry about
headphones
those.
On.
No, don't even worry about those. That don't work this time, so that's why we're doing this because our anyway.
Oh, we suck.
long story short.
No. Mark wasn't there. If you had Mark there, he'd have riddled it.
If I flew Mark in, he would have definitely made it happen. But
fuck! Didn't, look what they got.
Yeah, glowies.
And
the Student glass. Student glass.
Oh, look at that! I spilled my coffee. Sorry.
Student. Is it student or stunden?
I think it's Stundenglass.
Stunden.
We're gonna get on now. Are we on the
Someone tell
affiliate
us.
program, or are we not?
What?
Are we on the affiliate program and discount, or are we just discount?
No, we're just a discount for now.
Ooh.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my God.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, you got it? You're in?
What we'll do is we'll change it to 20% and we'll keep 4%. But right now it's 24% to the customer. No affiliate.
All right, he's in.
So get some.
All right. So Weed Dogs, how you been? Good, how are you? Nice
he
seeing you
has
again.
his mic on too, so we get a feedback. He's got to turn his volume and his microphone off. Mute. He's got to mute himself.
Everyone mute.
Okay.
I don't know.
You can mute
Just
yours.
mute. Feds mute.
Mute. And then we'll go.
The guy in the government that just took a dab with the long beard works for the feds.
Okay. Now what do we have though?
So we have you have the other guys talk.
Talk a little bit to me.
Yeah, Feds is not muted. I can see that on the Zoom. Feds got to mute his phone.
Yeah, mute that, and then we're going to see how the mics work.
It's only half a train wreck. Now he's just connecting
then we
to
all have
better
audio.
audio.
Yeah, so no.
Oh, it's just the volume.
So anyone looking for quality genetics, go to nfseeds.io.
Yeah.
Order some seeds.
There we go. Unless you have headphones, then that's the only thing you can really use, right? Okay. So Jordan in the house. Give me a heads up. Can you hear him at all? Not really. Give me how loud is that? Give me some loud.
Oh, my mic doesn't work.
Now, check it out. Can you hear him?
Yeah, sorta.
Sort of, kind of. Okay. Well, that's all I got. I got this, so I can give somebody this. I can give one of these, but they don't have a head. Only one of them has
only one has a microphone.
Thing on them, I believe, right? Or not? Oh yeah,
I don't know.
No,
hey, Mark,
it's worse.
you should get into your contract
What?
that you should have
This
to
was
follow
talking.
Adam all the time and be his engineer so that this doesn't happen.
Okay.
Stop doing this, dude. It's a
Write that into
broadcast.
your contract.
No, I brought a backup plan, which is exactly what you had. The same freaking setup you had, except for without the mics.
Well, I mean, you guys could go further away from each other. I guess that would be the only other option. But
Right. Well, that's what I was going to tell him to go cruise around and
yes.
Talk. If you guys want to do that, okay. Because if you're like not sitting there next to each other, then it's actually better. We're both muted. I know, but then they can't hear as good.
Does this you unmute when you go out there? Yeah.
Unmute when you get away from Adam.
That's what I think the best thing to do, and then just pick a spot and back here. And that's kind of why I wanted you to go around.
Live over there.
Yeah, that's even better. Right. It's even better because now we're like all snargling on each other because we can't. Exactly, but it's good to see you. And no, that I don't get, but I do get stupid overlap whenever we're trying to do testing. And now, right when you did the thing.
Adam, you've been out of New York for too long, man. You need your little New Yorker back. You go, look, get the fuck out of here. Go take the camera down over there.
Hello.
And get away because we're fucking up the audio.
He's gonna go. He's going right now. Well, now he literally just got hot enough, and you're gonna tell the guy to not take the hit.
I see. I can see that now.
You think he's not gonna? Of course he's gonna.
No, shout out to Stunden Glass because he should have one of those chest attachments so that he can be walking around with it, taking it anywhere he
The one
wants
we got
to.
for you. Oh, that's the one. That's the one we just got for you too.
Yeah, you go to
say that.
stundenglass.com, and when you buy anything on their website, if you enter Done Deal, you get 24% off anything there. So go ahead and do that.
Good deal. It is a very.
I don't want to hit that on the show anymore. I even told them that they were at Champs. I get too high on that one. Is
it's
that
amazing to watch people the first time on it because they just like they don't really see it coming, and then all of a sudden it's like check.
is that flower attachment, or is that the same one we use?
No, same one, same logic. You never had that good of a hit?
I don't think I've ever had.
Look at he's got the eyes and everything. They're all bleeding. They're all dribbling and stuff. Nice. Oh, good job. What are you smoking there, Bob?
GMO, BHO.
Nice. Got some sour D BHO. Old technology. Some old technology BHO. They're still out here, people. They're still out here, people. The titanium smoking BHO people. They're out here. Just got to go out the East Coast.
He done blowed up. He blowed up.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been much on the show anyway to these guys. If you had a real mic, it would have been even worse. Yeah, it would have been even worse. So, yeah, like every Friday, and he's also got a motocross track out here in Colorado called Buttonwoods, which is pretty damn cool. So he's got the full on extreme sports mentality right here.
So what is the place? Is it a dispensary? Is it just a smoking lounge?
No, it's a social club.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a social club. Pay membership, hang out. That's all you can really do here. But it's actually really, really good. The way they set it up, I like it. It's
so I know the show
stuffy.
I know the show bears your name. It's the Adam Dunn Show, and it probably isn't in the co-host best interests to give shit to the host, but fuck you, man. How many boxes of Yo Tips did you bring with you? You didn't even tell me you were going here.
Enough.
I would have made sure you left with a big box. You're in a smoking lounge where everyone is sharing, and you could have been handing out Yo Tips to them all. Changing all their lives. I'm still sick. I haven't been. I'm not sick. I just got back from Champs. You cuck. Who's your travel secretary? Why am I not on that email screen?
But I brought some. I gave a bunch out. What I had, but I don't have enough. That's the problem. You hear people coughing everywhere. I got here. Everybody was coughing. I was like, nice.
We're gonna get your boys information, and we're gonna send them some Yo Tips.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a fair amount of shit. I won't give you shit.
17 Columbia Street, Wakefield, Rhode Island.
Ooh, that fucking swag.
Club. Send over a buck. Yeah. No, I didn't realize he does this many people. I was like, well, okay. When I got here, he's like, yeah, I'm expecting a bunch of people. I was like, okay, well, there you go.
He owns THC.
Oh, there he goes. See, he's working it now. He's just figured it out.
Legend.
So,
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Look, this is Mikey Dillon. You're on the Adam Dunn Show. Tell us what you think.
Can't hear us.
How's your Friday going at Tetra?
Great Friday.
Great Friday.
What's going on?
Nice time.
Oh, yeah. Pharmacist box. I like that.
Yeah, get your sales pitch. Get your sales pitch figured out.
I don't have an elevator pitch.
You got to make it now as you speak. You got to get on it. You got to start working it. By the
That's
time
what I tell people. I'm like, oh, you just have to be
you'll
there.
have it figured out.
What up, man?
And you could have brought terp wipes with
find
you.
a guy.
Everyone sharing glass.
This is Buddha.
Come on, you got to have one guy here.
Welcome. This does our security.
How you doing, brother?
What's up, Buddha?
Yo, Buddha.
He got us all.
Oh, nice.
Got everybody Chinese food.
No problems tonight, I hope.
Got it. Got everybody lunch.
I mean, what kind of problems could they have in Rhode Island? Half the state is there.
That's right.
Oh, everybody is there. Yeah, I know.
Half of the entire state. He's talking actual numbers.
Look, hold on. We'll give another tour.
What is the state of Rhode
My hair all
Island?
fucked up.
Oh, now he's worried about his hair. That's the problem.
No, I'm not worried about it.
Room. This is the room.
Great. I said that matches my how I feel from that dab.
Show us the secret room.
I'm just gonna get it fixed later.
Oh yeah, thank God George is a Rothschild. You heard it here live. You heard it here live, people.
Maybe if you turn your phone sideways, we'll see a little more.
Uh-oh, sideways. Can you go
Oh,
sideways?
no,
on the
I mean,
phone?
I'm Rod's child. My dad's name's Rod. Rod's child.
Oh, Rod's child. I like that. That's a good one. That's true. That's funny because that's my friend Mojave's dad's name was Rod. That's a good one. He can use that for real. For real.
I thought you were a Rothschild, Adam.
Yeah, this is this is my cousin.
Now
This
we're
is my
coming
cousin
live
right
from the
here.
weed garden. See all the plants.
Live from the weed garden. Wow, that was easy. That didn't take long. Wow, look at that. That looks beautiful. Good job on that. Amazing.
Yeah, I just watered them.
Yeah, they look really good. And that's Weed Boggs up there about to do a massive hit or what? Or who's that?
Yeah, Weed Boggs in the house.
Oh yeah,
He's a
Fed.
legend.
Yeah, Weed. Check his site. Check his Instagram because he's funny. He takes advantage of any opportunity to take a bong hit anywhere at any time, which is awesome. It's funny because my uncle and Victor moved about 3 inches to the right, so I'm sure there may be some overflow, but he doesn't listen that's how hard they listen out here, Dave.
Yeah.
Got to be more aggressive. Got to be more in New York.
Oh,
You might have to be. I mean, they're close to New York.
They're close.
They
But they're
probably
totally
get really
different.
good Chinese food.
They're totally different. Totally different breed.
Oh, there it is.
What's going on?
Oh.
What do you got going on there? Oh, you're flipping around.
I couldn't find I felt like a boomer. I couldn't find the button.
Oh no, you're getting like that already?
Adam's the only boomer on this call.
How do you turn
Oh,
this
hold
off?
on. Look at it.
There we go.
See those funny video online? It's like the guy, he like walks around his whole job site and like gets all the shots of the site. He's like, oh, and then it shows his perspective and it was all just his face the whole time.
I don't know that one.
Oh, it's good. You'll see it now. The way the algorithm works.
Well, maybe if.
Oh, look, you're
if
in
you-
the same shot now.
What? Oh. So he's just walking around the room taking a dab from or a bong hit from every bong he passes.
This is a different angle. You got two angles, right? Oh, yeah, look.
Is that some Rhode Island game you guys play that if
No, he's
anybody
bringing his
gets
own.
within a
He's got
few
his own.
feet? Okay.
And then we got more Chinese food going on over here. Say hi to the Adam Dunn Show.
Wow, they like their Chinese food. A lot of Chinese food going.
Yo,
I'd fit in there.
I had said
You know how to. You really know how to interview. You really know how to interview, Jordan.
Listen,
Chinese food.
They asked that put me up. Shout out Stund and
Come
Glass.
on, find me something. Find me something.
You can
They
leave
asked
that
if I
room
wanted
now.
Chinese food before I took that
Well,
hit, and I was like, "Oh, no,
leave
I'm
the
all set,
Chinese
thank
food
you."
room.
And now I had that big dab, and I'm walking
You
around.
can't
seeing
stop on the
everybody
Chinese
eat
food.
No, leave the Chinese
So,
food alone.
We're picking the wrong time. We're picking the one time that everybody's
Everybody
more
I
concerned
find
about
the interviews eating Chinese food.
No. Classic.
Imagine James
Classic
Bond if he was raised in the jungles of Ohio.
Imagine if all of those.
We'll check back
microphones
in
that
when
you're
they eat
sitting
the
next
fortune
to were-
cookies.
Oh yeah, you can check what their fortune cookies are. Why don't you get to
Yeah,
look around,
definitely.
looking, and then when as they open it up, go, what does it say?
Yo,
Tell us.
I think they said there's no
Give us
fortune
a live
cookies.
fortune.
That's
We're
not
gonna have
true.
a new. It's gonna be like, dude, where's my fortune cookies? It's like the Ashton
That is
Kutcher
right.
movie follow up too. Oh, we got
I'm
him.
sure you can find one person who's not eating Chinese food right now if you just look around.
It is.
He
Get
hasn't
out of
left
that
the
room.
room. He's standing
Go
still.
out of that room. Go out of that room.
This is Weed Box.
Leave the room.
There's not even anybody better in the room to go get. He's here. He's not eating
No.
Chinese.
Is
Go
that
out
is
there.
it?
Go out.
This is Jordan on the holding the phone, right? Jordan,
Yeah.
leave the room.
I know it died down a little though. I don't want.
Get out of the room. There we go. He's moving now. He's
He's
moving.
moving. He's scared of his own.
All right,
Woo!
Look, even
Yeah.
the pinball machine's broken. Look.
Oh, even the pinball machine's broken. Now we're talking. This place sucks. Now it used to be great.
Fuck, what the
Now it's-
hell?
now
Tried as a motherfucker.
it used to. This place used to be great. Now broken pinball machine.
Hold on. I have a poster that says Hood Lab somewhere. Where is that?
Oh, find that. Yeah, find
Oh
that.
yeah, that's what we need to see. Can we see something?
There it
that's
is.
inherently- Oh gosh. Fat Adam is on there.
Back when I was fat and drunk.
What else we got? Shout out Smuggler.
Oh, go down. No, go down on there. Go down. Wait, yay! Look at that right there.
Hey.
Yeah.
So
There we
Miles.
Miles.
That's from Colorado right there. From Colorado. There you go. Shout out to Weebogs.
Shout out Weebogs.
Weebog.
It's funny because when you watch the screen, and not that it's that exciting, but when you watch the screen, it's funny because then I'll look up and I'll see you looking into the thing, and I'm like, wow, look at that guy look into that machine, right? It's like from the back, you're just like, rando dude looking at a machine, and then all of a sudden on the screen, you're like, what is next? What is next in this exciting world?
Well, at least he's moving.
I got somebody.
Look good. He's walking in circles to make it look like
I'm
it's
looking.
bigger.
No, I'm looking.
You'd probably see more if you held the camera a little higher and then down on your face.
And turned it around even. How's that?
Yeah, like maybe we don't need to see your face anymore. Let's see where you're going.
We don't want to see your face, man.
There you go. There you go.
Look at that. Now,
Look, a pool table. Oh my gosh, everyone, it's a pool table.
We'll never know the outcome.
I love pool tables.
And now we're back to his face.
I love pool. Yeah, he's scared. He doesn't want people to
Is
get
that your
mad at him.
girlfriend, Adam, on the other one there?
We got Christian.
Where?
This is a great breeder, local breeder.
How you doing?
Check his shit out. East Coast.
Hey, nice one.
East Coast Pure, right? That's your IG?
A person.
Look at his setup.
Yes.
What you
Keep
got?
that up. Keep that up. More people.
Hey, we got all sorts of good people to interview around here.
These
Look
are
at that.
the 16 new strains in the Bukkake line.
Oh yeah.
What did you say? What was the name of that line?
What was that again?
The Bukkake line.
I took my 4
You heard
favorite
correct.
females and I reversed them, and I took them to all of my mothers. And this is 16 out of the 35.
Wouldn't a Bukkake line be if you had like 16 fathers on the same mother?
Fingers are too fast. Oh,
That
yeah.
would be.
Tell me your Instagram.
That would be. That would be.
This is my stuff at East Coast Pure.
East Coast Pure.
It's
Check
in-
him out.
it's
He's
in
been
reverse.
around since the first. I think I met him at first All Stars, right?
It's actually the reverse
Great.
Bukkake, wouldn't that be?
Yeah.
I'll make him nut while he's nutting.
Over
That's
Hold
the
on.
secret. I make my man nut
Jordan,
27 times a day.
Adam wants to take umbrage with him. His business should be called Reverse Bukkake.
Yeah. Because
No?
it's a bunch of no. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
I agree
Maybe
with
yes.
you. But I
know
don't. Jordan's just
Bukkake
smiling.
Oh, Jordan doesn't know what a bukkake is, so don't even make him figure this out.
Oh.
He'll be like, oh, wait a minute, is that what we're talking about here? Let me just tell you about bukkakes first, and then you might understand.
Look, you know
those
that
bukkakes.
Do we have any pictures of bukkakes we could put up right now?
Oh, I wouldn't look
Vinny,
it up.
where's your bukkakes? Yeah, look it up quickly on your phone right now. Yes.
So basically, there's 4 females.
One cup.
Yeah, exactly. There's except it's 4. There's 4 females that were reversed, and the pollen is been put on these females here.
So
Unfortunately,
it's sort of a
But
reverse
it's the bukkake
cowgirl slash bukkake. It's kind of a bukkake in a
No.
reverse way.
I'm sorry. I got to play that guy. Bukkake,
Because he made
you'd have to
he
have
made 4
multiple
reversals.
males
He did.
on the
He
same
made
female.
4 He did, but he made it 4 reversals.
Oh yeah.
He reversed
Check this
4
out.
females into males. So he did that. But it's still a reversal in my mind, so it's even better. Like a
I love that.
Okay.
double entendre. My favorite kind. My favorite kind.
This is my man Flight, DJ
Oh, here he
Tank
goes.
Flight. This is the in-house. He does all the DJing, all the sound smashing.
Sweet.
Keep them rocking.
He can't
See
hook
what I
up
did
4
there? It's
mics
a
to
little bit of
the
double
Zoom, can he?
entendre.
Adam took his whole DJ booth over, so now
There you go. I took it over as
by iTunes and Adam.
Why didn't he hook that up for you?
we tried. We asked. He looked at us like we were
We're gonna
crazy.
put
He
Adam
said,
on the big
I don't do
screen
that
soon.
shit. Soon.
It's so
When it's
beneath me.
over. When it's over.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. This is
Well-
the guy who didn't know what bukkake was 5 minutes ago, so remember that.
Did somebody tell him?
No, he still doesn't know.
Excuse me? What?
It'll come.
Who's talking?
He can ask his.
Hey, Vinny,
Oh, yeah,
Vinny,
pause
do
it. He's
you
watching
want
the
to
show.
explain it since you have the
Or
chocolates?
mute it. This is my man Nate Dogg,
Nate Dogg.
lead security guy. We got him holding us down at the door. He gets to see all the good shit right off the rip.
Oh yeah.
Let me see.
You're on live TV. Oh, great. There she is.
That was an exceptionally long tongue.
There's like 2,000 people watching this live.
Not even.
All right, one more.
One more.
What's up, guys?
You can check her out online. Find her socials. She's out there. Say what's up.
She's out there somewhere.
That's how I roll.
We're all on social. Come say hi.
All right.
Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg.
This is a live TV show. It's the Adam Dunn Show.
There you go.
She doesn't even know that she has.
There, now they start.
Say it's Adam Dunn, the baseball player.
Oh, I know all about that.
Adam Dunn's a baseball player. Google him.
I think this place needs a DJ
Famous.
that actually just plays music all the time, and that's their only job, and I would do it for very cheap.
Full time. She wants to be the DJ. Full time. She's taking flights. She wants to take flights.
I'd stay so much longer if there's music.
We're doing live music on Thursdays. Later, guys.
Thank you. You too.
No, it's because you're doing the show on the stage.
I feel like if you had more girls.
Girls, we only have one job. How are we going to work? How are we going to have more jobs? I got to make more jobs.
All right, I see 3-foot bongs getting smoked down.
Now we're talking.
She said we should hire more people.
3-foot bongs.
Oh, we're back.
I'm very into business.
Where you at? Come back in. Take videos of some of the bongs getting smoked. Get some shots. Show what's going on. Now he's back in the room again. He's back.
We're back.
You're hiding again?
Hiding?
Oh, you're back in that room
I'm
again.
checking on the game.
Get at.
I
No, you
to
want
see what the
Chinese
fortune
food.
cookie said.
They're back in the room. They're back in the room.
Yeah.
We didn't
all you're
even.
doing-
We haven't even had a reveal yet on the fortune cookies.
All right. Well, if you don't have fortune cookies, I don't know. Might be gone with you.
No, I don't know what that would allow. Is that you? Your remote started?
How does membership work there, Adam?
Jordan, how does membership work? Tell us.
Well, we don't do memberships. It's all.
How's it work?
now
How's
that-
the membership?
Now that it's public, we just allow anybody 21 plus at the door. It's $20. If you got a medical card, it's $10.
That works.
Medical card from any state or from Rhode
Weather
Island?
report is like 50 and raining.
I'm going to assume it's
Any state on the card or medical? Reciprocate on the medical, like so. If I
We got
have
to. We got to
Urban
reveal.
card or I think so.
he's not listening. Oh, he found a
What's
fortune
this going
cookie.
on? Oh, tell us our fortunes, sir.
Yeah, we can't read it. You have to tell
We
us what it
can't read
says.
that. What do you think?
It says, only listen to fortune cookie. Disregard all other fortune telling units. That's cheeky. That's propaganda. I don't even know.
Fortune cookies have changed.
They're trying to solidify how credible they are. They're like, listen, fortune cookie wisdom is only wisdom you get.
Yeah.
It
After
is.
you read enough of those, you may believe that.
So how many people are there tonight?
Oh, it's like 160.
So is this the point in the show, Adam, where you announce the pharmacist as our newest sponsor?
Yeah, right.
No, we just announced you guys as our newest sponsor.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
There you go.
Adam said he's going to send everybody a free pre-roll every week from the Adam Dunn Show.
Oh, free
Yeah,
pre-roll.
right. That's
Okay.
happening. That's happening.
Yeah.
Not.
Nope. No, not
Yeah,
pre-roll.
Dave gets lots of nobody.
I'll
Dave,
cover.
you know us
I'll
in pre-rolls.
sponsor the weather segment. If you guys
know
start
us in
doing the
pre-rolls.
weather,
Okay.
I'll sponsor the weather.
Okay,
Yeah,
you can
how does that
sponsor
work?
the weather segment. No problem. It's 51 and raining in Rhode Island right
And
now.
I'll call, a little 4-minute nationwide weather report.
What do all the kids do?
The kids?
Are you back in that room again?
No, like what?
No, now we're in the
Chinese
front
food.
room. We're in
Yeah.
the lobby.
Okay.
They're in the lobby. Back in the lobby.
Yeah.
With your DJ.
Yeah, this is the new DJ.
You just hired her.
We're actually the same kind of because I
We're the
have
same.
one more letter than him.
Nobody knows my real name. Shh, don't tell them my name.
Don't
This
tell
is why
him
I'm
his
on the
name.
internet.
He's the
Oh my God, I don't
pharmacist.
believe you.
The
Your last
pharmacist. That's my real name. My real name's the pharmacist. That's what my parents called me.
His name is Ra.
What is it? Chinese food or something? Oh, look at this. Chinese food came in.
Oh,
in the
let's
house.
do. We're gonna do
Oh my God,
ads
what are you
now
eating
because
up
I'm
there?
fucking hungry.
Everyone gets
Oh.
Chinese food.
Is
That's how it works
everything
around here.
vegetarian for Adam and vegan?
I think I
My
got
man
a
Tony
vegan one
right
here.
here.
Look at veggie.
What do you think of
veggie.
Tetra Club? How many stars do you give us? 5. 5 fucking stars. Tony
Yep.
gives us 5 stars. Thanks,
Fucking
Tony.
Tony gave him 5 fucking
5
stars.
star.
5 stars.
Forget about it.
Hey, look at our Google. Give
Hey,
us the 5
what?
stars.
You
It's
serving
in
Chinese food? You don't serve him lobster? Get the
We
lobsters
serve it all.
out.
We got lobster rolls. We got it all.
These are
Come on
rolls,
down.
veggie rolls. Okay.
Let's do some
If you
ads.
come, we got free stuffies.
Yes.
Free stuffies for everybody.
Man,
Jordan,
I've
do
been-
an ad for the
I've been
pharmacist right now.
eating as much as possible while I was there. I was up in Glass, where you gotta eat viciously. So now I'm down in Rhode Island. Gotta eat more fish. What's going on? Let's do an ad.
All right.
Yeah, how about do an ad for
High
the pharmacist?
Cafe.
Or So High Cafe.
So High Cafe. www.sohighcafe. Come on down to 4300 West.
Man, I could go
Alameda.
for some barbecue from SoFi Cafe.
Yeah, dude. So High Cafe.
So high.
So high.
So high.
Home of the Viper
High,
Pig
bro,
Barbecue.
not
And
high. High.
yeah, Vinny's got it rolling today, dude. Like, he's making it happen today. So.
Yeah, it's been stinking it up out there. Is it all smelly?
No, we had a family come in and buy us out earlier. It was crazy.
Oh, good right now.
Smell it.
Anyways, so yeah, come on down. Give Vinny a call.
No,
Make
it's
sure
pretty
that
smoky.
what the menu is that day, but he'll get you all squared away with some food if you let him know.
Oh, look at that.
SoHighCafe.com.
That looks good.
Ozo Coffee.
Best coffee there is. Go to ozocoffee.com. Enter Dunn Deal 24. You get 20% off everything.
Buildasoil.com.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that.
If you grow anything, go to buildasoil.com or give them a call at 855-877-SOIL. Ask for the Dunn Deal. They'll answer any question and advise you on growing almost anything.
That's a done deal.
YoTip.com.
So had Adam really been thinking about our friends and advertisers, Yo Tips, he'd have brought you a big box of these so that anybody smoking a joint would share safely. And they'll look at you and go, you know what? That joint fucking hits better. And it really does. So you go to yotip.com and you can find them on Amazon. You can enter Done Deal on their website.
Soon to be available at Tetrahydropub, according to Dave. Now,
Yep.
Come on, Dave, get it together. They should
Yep,
have been already.
soon to be at the pharmacist or Tetrahydro Club. Yes, because they're going to be our newest sponsor. Yotip.com or Yo Products LLC on Instagram. Just got back from Champs. Fun times. Yo Tip. Everybody use a tip.
Green Farms Med.
Got to get more weed in that joint.
More
Greenfarmsmed.com.
weed in that joint.
Ask for the Done Deal. You'll get 10% off anything in the store. It's got like 850 SKUs right now. It is, speaking of Chinese food,
Out of control.
it's like a Chinese
It's like a
food menu
Chinese.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is pretty much. It's pretty much.
Greenfarmsmed.com.
Dun, dun,
Green
dun,
Bros.
dun, dun, dun.
Who is that? Green Bros?
Green Bros, yes.
Go to greenbros.com and you're not going to enter anything. You're going to give them a call and you're going to see that they have the best post-harvest equipment in the industry, made in Las Vegas. You'll get 5% off anything or 10% off the harvest bucket.
Saw some material coming out of that the other day, and it looked really good. I was like, wow, this thing actually works pretty
They
fucking
know their
damn
shit.
good. And they even said on the air that it's one of those, like, they're basically giving it away at this point in time because it's so well made, and you know they're not going to charge more, but they're not really making any money on it, and you're pretty much getting the most for your money's worth out of that bad boy. So no motors to break, no nothing. You know, just use an old drill, which is pretty damn fucking amazing.
Green Bros with a Z.
And a bucket.
Apothecary Farms. If you're into concentrates, go to Colorado and Oklahoma's concentrate-focused dispensary, because I will be hitting up Max Out Monday because I haven't had no rosin in a little bit here, Dave. And
Dave.
So
Dave went to Vegas.
I'm just messing. But yeah, they got the good deals. So if you're gonna drop some cash, go hit up Apothecary Farms. Let them know you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show. Dabx.com.
Best dab rig on the market right now. Go to dabx.com. Done deal at checkout. 20% off your order. What else can we say? The vapor does not follow the same path as your reclaim. And shout out to Jack, who showed right up at Champs and brought me a new tool.
I have been showing lots of people, obviously, the dab eggs. Everybody's super impressed. Everybody here smokes a lot of dabs, and it's funny because everybody had the same complaints about the other brands out there, and then they couldn't believe the quality of the reclaim when I was showing them the color, and they were just like, "Oh my god, dude, that's like night and day." So I'm about to give Mr. Boggs a little lesson in it too, and he'll be an advocate. So, now amazing products. Well made, and lots of surprise. I do have to get a new pen soon though. That's for sure.
Hell yeah!
Dabx.com.
Get the done deal.
Gotta get. Yeah.
14 or bolder.
Love these guys. 14orbolder.com. Done deal at checkout. 10% off your order. Everything's grown in Boulder, Colorado. Genetics are amazing. They just won a Jack Harrer Cup. The Truth came in best flower. I'm smoking GMO cookies. The rosin is spectacular. They have 24% off right now, something like that. I believe a gram of rosin said $17. So got to head down to 14er in Boulder. If you got to use pre-order. That's what you got to do. If you use pre-order, you get 10% off, and you want to try this Garden Select. It is fan-fucking-tastic. Nope. Come on.
14 or bolder.
14 or bolder.
KawaiHempCo.com.
Go to KawaiHempCo.com. Enter Done Deal at checkout. 10% off your order. Or save 15%. Don't even use that right now. Use what the code they have up there. Amazing organic products. If you're a deadhead, this is a family business. So spend some money there. I give my pet the CBD, and I got the box right over here, and I'll bring the rest in for you guys next time I'm in the studio.
KawaiHempCo.com. Taking Tops Cannabis.
Tops. Taking Tops.
Did he roll in
pretzels.
today? Did he come in today?
No, he's not here today.
What?
Go to takingtopscannabis.com. Go to his Discord channel. Taking Tops. Tell him heard about the M Dunn show.
Check out his Discord and the what do you call that? Telegram. Boom.
Telegram. Discord. There you go.
Studenglass.
Oh my goodness. 24% off when you enter Done Deal. See, we're going to change that. So we'll get an affiliate agreement. We'll get 4%. You guys will get 20% off. Go to Studenglass right now. It really does hit amazing. I'm so impressed. Absolutely impressed. Enter Done Deal at checkout. 24% off. Double glass infuser. HortiTechDirect.com. What can we say? These guys make the greatest greenhouse in the industry. Double walled. All the mechanics are on the interior wall, away from the elements. One of our guests was in North Dakota. It was 140-degree temperature differential. 70 degrees outside, 70 degrees inside. Minus 70 outside, excuse me. So amazing. And 50-degree winds. Give them a call and tell them you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show. You'll get 5% off your order plus 6 of those brushes.
Terpwipes.com/done deal.
No, terpwipes.com/done deal. You got to focus on the. No, yes, of course. That's all you need to do. No code. Terpwipes.com/done deal.
Bio365.com.
Give Tim a call.
Hey, here's a classic, right? I talked to my mom today. She's like, "Oh yeah, they delivered your soil this morning," and I'm just like, "Oh, of course they did." Classic, because when they deliver the soil, they can't come up the driveway; it's too muddy, so they have to like deliver it at the bottom of the driveway, and then someone's got to take it up, break out the pallet, and break it all up, and take it out.
You made your mom do that?
Wow!
I didn't make anybody do it. It just happened.
Yes, you did. Oh
I
my
did
gosh!
not.
You
I did
didn't
not.
arrange to have somebody there to
No.
help her?
It didn't, no. But it was funny because it turned out perfect because the neighbor who's like this big burly neighbor guy just happened to be there, and he was like obligated at that point to load up her truck. So he just loaded the whole truck up for her, and she went up a couple runs. So that was good. But yeah, I didn't know. I was like, they never really give you much of a warning. They kind of just give you a heads up.
But that's a testament. They will send you a pallet of this stuff because they believe in it and they want you to switch over to it. So
they will.
Check out
Tim at
bio365.
bio365.com.
Yes, sir. I'm going to get to try the new stuff too, which is awesome.
Numbnutsco.com.
Enter Dunn Deal at checkout, 20% off everything, including their dog CBD, the cinnamon almond peanut butter, their regular peanut butter, and their infused CBD peanut butter. And if you're a medical patient, click on the blue link up top that says Find Our Nuts, and you'll be able to buy 1,000 milligram tub of peanut butter in Colorado. Or you can go to BreckenridgeOrganicTherapy.com and enter Dunn Deal at checkout for 10% off your order.
Sunscaped LED.
Sunscaped LED. Heard
LED.
Got some reports back from our friend Mike, who's been running a couple runs now with this stuff with the lights, and he saw a noticeable difference on density of bud, overall coverage of resin. It was like kind of a win-win all across the board. So he gave a very couldn't recommend them, and we haven't even fucked with the spectrums yet because it's like you have to use a completely different module for that. So yeah, just straight out of the box with unbelievable results. So check it out, Sunscape LED. Obviously, use a Dunn Deal.
JeromeBaker.com.
Speak to Jordan. Tell him you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show. Buy
Different
something
Jordan.
off the rack.
Another Jordan.
Different
not
Jordan.
This Jordan. Different Jordan.
Tell them you heard about it on the show. They'll work something out with you. But really take advantage of the fact that we can help move you to the front of the line if you really need something custom done. So it's a 9-month wait right now for his work. We'll get it down to 6 months for you. So head over to JeromeBakerGlass.com. Follow him on Instagram. He's a legend.
And get ready for a tropical treat with SeedsHereNow.com. Escape the wintry blues this February with SeedsHereNow.com. Tropical treat. Introducing our flavor of the month, pineapple, and breed of the month, Atlas Seeds. Dive into pineapple paradise and turn out the heat in your garden. Enjoy a sunny slice of summer with each seed and shake off the cold with exclusive 20% off all month. Join our tropical community, share your growth stories, and learn from the best. Don't miss our special sale dates. Basically, the only one left is the end of the month sale, and February is short, but our deals are huge. Visit SeedsHereNow.com to grow your tropical garden of 2024 today.
You never sound like you're reading. That is so fucking amazing.
Whoa.
Keep that up, buddy.
Oh,
Never.
And then check out the AdamDunnShow.com and get some merch. Then you can look like
Yes.
Dave, who wears like the band shirt to the band's concert.
Yeah, Dave. Dave's that guy. For sure.
And that
Never even thought about it like that until now.
Yeah, and that concludes the ad section or the shout out section of.
Hey, let's just shout out to Duke Diamond.
Duke Diamond.
He gave me something he called Jack,
Shout out
but
to,
I swear
Duke. What's up?
it smells like the wreckiest wreck. I mean,
Hell yeah, dude.
it's so wrecky. I mean,
It's wrecking shit up.
Right. Well,
yeah,
they're in the zone. Like train wreck.
yeah, almost Durban.
And they're in the same. They're in the same zone. Yeah, but they're all in the same world.
He's a master. Go to a Dominion Seeds, order some genetics.
I haven't had train wreck since I like really knew and cared about weed. You know what I mean? I had it back when I didn't know shit. You know.
I won't smoke it. I'll bring it in on Friday.
Dan.
Yep, that's what I'll do.
This is great.
Yeah. So, and if anybody, go ahead.
What? No, I was just
If
going
you-
to say shout out, obviously, to the Central Hydro Club here, and also shout out to Ed for jumping in. That was interesting. I didn't even know Ed was coming. I didn't put him on the flyer or nothing.
I wasn't even
Ed-
thinking. We were talking, and I just I just said,
You
why
just
don't you
threw
just
it in
join
there?
in?
Yeah, we had him come in and
It was
rile up the
today,
chat
so
gang.
it was too late.
Too late. Okay.
I didn't
that's
want him
okay.
to talk about politics, but
Yeah,
you
I
know
know,
what?
what the
I'm
fuck?
not.
He did. Can't help it.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because he goes like classic, like when you make jokes about like Thanksgiving dinner or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like he falls into that sort of like, instant, like you can't get it, like everything's good, and then you're like, hey, pass the potatoes. And some liberal potatoes over there, buddy. Liberally passing you the potato. No, don't say it. Don't say the word.
Use the proper pronoun.
What? How conservatively? I know everybody blows up and explodes. Yeah, can't help it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
We're a cannabis politics not show.
So,
right? If it involves
It
cannabis,
never really works. It never really works to our advantage. That's for sure. It has never.
Nope.
It has never. It has never stimulated our conversation within the show and or within the chat. The chat really hates it, so we have to adapt to that, knowing that no one wants to hear that, and we know that, and I don't want to hear it. Occasionally, there's moments in time where it's sort of like, okay, it might be important to at least nudge everybody and make sure we're not all going the wrong direction. But in general, leave it out. And it's funny too. I was thinking about that on the way over on the show. I was thinking like the one thing I love about cannabis shows in general is that they're kind of timeless, and it should be. You know what I mean? They should be able to be listened to again, because the minute you bring politics into it is how it becomes not timeless. It becomes timed, like instant timestamp that makes you like look like a total asshole later on. You know what I mean? Usually it doesn't make you look good, because it either shows how opinionated you were at that time. Either you were right or you were wrong. But either way, it doesn't even make it better. It might be the right might be wrong too, because it might just been like you were right in the wrong way. You know if you know, you know what I mean. You know
100%. We're all we are is a pawn for two fucking bickering parties.
Yeah,
we're going to be a pawn.
Well, you might show how ignorant you were at the time to the other facts. You know, even if you were right, you might be like, oh yeah, you were right, not for the right reasons. Like I heard Bill Barr, and after every like live show or after every new show, he plays an old show around the same time period of the year. So like in February 15th, he'll play a February 16th episode from 2016, and then it's like he's unfiltered, so he just talks about whatever's happening. So occasionally he was back then talking about Trump and talking about the elections, and he liked Biden at the time, but he also, you know, so he was like that complete lefty kind of vibe guy, but he, you know, it didn't really help that he just showed his sort of like ability to, well, he didn't give a fuck, first of all, but when you listen to the 2016 thing, you were just kind of like, yeah, it's probably better not to just not even go there, because it just doesn't really help. You know, he always looks stupid, you know? There's no way to know what's really going on.
Nope. Well, history is what hindsight is 2020, and history is being written right now. Now.
So
right,
any so high inputs, guys? Come on, you've been quiet. No drops. Vinny broke his roadcaster, so he's sad.
Yeah, but
sad,
I mean,
he
had some drops.
He pulled off 2 drops or 3 drops. I heard about
making
3
it
or
happen
4.
right now, dude.
That's good.
Okay.
How'd you get those in?
What?
How'd you get to do it? How'd you do that?
He was finagling some stuff over here.
What?
I think he came in via audio just through the computer. So
he did some finagling.
Yeah.
He duct taped.
Yeah.
Oh wow, duct taped some fucking wires together.
Yeah, I think so.
I would expect nothing less.
Yeah, it's all duct tape.
You can't stop the fucking drops.
That's right. That's right.
You can't stop the drops.
That's right. Oh, Dave's
and then
muted.
This is my grand dog.
Oh, there you go.
We have. You're all there. I'm leaving. I will be on the road again, but I will be not in a, yeah. It'll be just like this, but a little tighter. I'll just tighten it up. But We'll be on the road, me and Kyle. We're going to be in Asheville, North Carolina. So,
nice. Are we doing Patreon?
It's going to be on the road shit show part 5.
No.
Oh,
not tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, unless Adam wants to do it, I can't.
I think it's going to be a bit tough because I have to close this place down. It's late here, later here, so
all right.
I don't want to.
Hey, well, if you
right to
send
the end.
if you send me the grow videos, you probably don't have videos, huh?
Actually,
if you do,
I have.
Send them my way. I'll put them on Patreon.
I do.
Okay, if you do have something, send it my way. I'll put it on Patreon for them so they don't miss out on a Patreon
do what?
episode.
Hold on.
No. I'll just upload the videos raw.
Do this after we end the show.
Yeah, we're good, dude.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
No, I don't want his phone is going to freeze up, and then you're going to get your wish.
I'll send you those. You put those on Patreon. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
People get their video in. All right. Sounds good.
Shout out.
You realize it's Mark's wish.
Cool. And next week we're gonna have John Doe.
Oh,
we're
really?
gonna have John Doe Radio is gonna come hang out with us.
Oh, cool, dude. Yeah, he's in the
He
chat.
was gonna come this week, but I already said we're gonna be in a psychological Snargle-Fest, so we don't need to have. Let us suffer this, and then next week might come in the studio, might do it from.
Cool. Well, yeah. Shout out.
I don't hear Dave.
Shout out.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for you to end the. You're losing your transmission. You're coming in and out.
Yeah, you're starting to come in and out, so maybe we should just end this whole thing.
Just end it. It was a good show. Don't buy THCA unless you want to support, the farm bill, and buy legal cannabis. I don't know. We haven't solved that problem, but anyway, thank you.
All right.
I think we lost him.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace.
Yeah, thanks you guys. Next week we'll be on the road again. We'll clean it up. Hopefully we'll have a little better sound, but you know how that goes. And thank you for support. See you on Patreon. At least the videos will be on there. So
yeah, send me the grow videos.
See, Woody Harrelson's in town too somewhere. We were hoping we would. I will.
Well, if he does interview him, we'll put it on Patreon.
But in general, it was funny because when you already.
No. I started and then I went back.
Yeah.
We're good. Anyways.
Bye.
You good, Adam?
End it.
All right. Peace out, guys.
See you guys.
Practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing.
Me?
Want you to smoke the natural herb.
Sweet.
Some call it marijuana.
Sweet.
Some call it sesame.
Sweet.
Some call it lamb's bread.
The tea.
And some people call it ganja.